I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Wayne Bradshaw's here today. Glad to see you back. Missed you. I mean, you were there, but
Yeah,
personally,
I do have PT on Tuesday afternoon for a few weeks here, so I may do Zoom a few more times, but I won't lie, forever.
that's all right.
Yeah.
So where do you PT at?
Bone and joint, yeah, Bob, he's the best of the best. And,
Yeah.
Not to say no, other people aren't good, but he's the best of that.
No, that's all right. We're doing all right. All right, so on the minutes for February 21st.
I make a motion that we accept the board minutes for February 21st, 2023.
I'll second them. Are any public comment? I forgot to mention that Commissioner Hinkle won't be here today. So I'll go ahead and second them. Any public comment? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Go into correspondence. Thanks, Billy. All right, the first one is from Mako. And this is on that law they're trying to get through, that laws detailed. It's about sheriff, just, or the sheriffs running their own budget and stuff, doing their own budgets. Like, I see their point in a few things, but I read this and I'm not really sure.
So, okay, doing their own budgets, they do their own budgets, but they're in the general fund. So they're kind of protected on being under, you know, if they were, if this would pass or something, then I would suggest we would do public safety fund and let them be responsible instead of, if that's what they want to do.
Yeah,
Maybe I
Sounds good.
misunderstood. It's hard to understand. But anyway, and then, I'm not hurrying or nothing. Next one's Graham County Justice Court.
Justice Court's been busy. It's down the stairs yesterday, so a lot of new cases. It's just the way it is. The interstate brings some business.
And then we got a letter from Greg Forte on a notice of the ARPA Water and Sewer Grant Award. The award increased the amount of $11,990 for the Granite County Phillipsburg drinking system improvement. They must be going after this. Only thing that
That's the minimum allocation.
Yep, it's the increase.
Okay, so it's just extra funds that were not anticipated, is that?
Yeah, it's the, there was that excess that was for the minimum allocation
Yeah.
grant that was left over that you guys gave them permission to go after, and that's the award
I
letter
guess
for it.
that, but the only thing, they might want to change the chairman thing.
Yes.
So,
Showing. Josh,
You,
right?
mhm.
not that it's that big a deal, I guess, in
So-
case they wanted to, if it goes into that
Think-
big grant.
Yeah, anything,
And
something.
this goes through the county and into the city, so.
Yes, and then we did those resolutions too, so they're in charge of the reporting now
So
for
they just
those.
awarded to them,
Yes.
okay,
You're right, the towns are in charge of their own reporting.
Mhm.
so they can have it. So-
Yes.
Next one's from Kelly Sullivan, and it says, "Hi Billy, we really should have a Granite County Commissioner on the Headwaters Board as per our bylaws. Would you be able to visit with those folks and see who would like to join us going forward? The board meets every other month in odd months with March 16th from 1 to 3. Thanks, give me a call."
So when we're at on March 16th.
I believe it's in Butte is where they typically meet, and it's in Butte. And it's, I can't remember the name of the building. I
Did you
would
want to
call
be on
her
that
and
board?
get the information though.
Yes, you would. Or you wanna think about it? It's not a rep, I mean,
Well,
we got meetings.
I'll think about it. So you're on it, right? You're a member of it. or-
I was going when you guys were sending me and then you haven't sent me to the last few, but if you want me to go, I can go.
This is.
It's,
Maybe some sort of-
yeah, no, you're fine. It's, if you,
Are they evening meetings or day?
they're usually at 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Mhm.
So does this have to be on the agenda to put a person on the,
I think it probably should be.
okay, so. Put it on next week's agenda and I'll.
We
know
can
if I
buy
want
it. And if you don't, if we wanted just for an update or something, we could still have her go every.
Okay.
Every whatever.
Yeah, we do have a new vehicle. Have you been in it yet?
No, I haven't, but
They
looks
were gonna
good.
get new tires, I don't know if they got them, like they called and asked and said, yeah, let's start tires. Did you hear that?
Really?
Did I tell you that?
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
You want to take that on March 9th to mediation? Or
Do you
not?
wanna really come all the way up and get it and then go, or do you wanna? just-
The
What's
thing
the
is, I
time?
have I have a doctor's appointment the next day, so I don't, I mean, I
Let's
could
just
get
take-
it that day before, but it would not
Let's
be
just take
returning.
our car that day.
I think, if I may suggest, what day is that on?
9th, March 9th to Thursday.
Would it bother you to just take it home with you? Leave
I
your
could-
car parked here?
I could take it on the 8th, the 9th, then we go to mediation, but then I have a doctor's appointment on the 10th.
Yeah, we.
But so if you don't mind if it's parked all weekend,
I don't think anybody uses it on the weekend.
It's up to you, I don't.
as long as you guys don't mind that it's parked at my house, I won't, I mean, I won't
I
be driving.
think that it needs to get utilized. I think we're saving money using it.
Yeah.
We truly
Okay.
are, and it's available.
I'll take it on the 8th then, and
I guess, you know, on something like that, should we have like a little calendar for it?
We do, they sign in and sign out,
Alright.
yeah.
I'll go sign up.
Yeah,
then to
and
take-
and possibly tell her that, okay, this is checked out for this from here to here.
Yeah, we
And
gotta.
have a calendar.
we
Good
have,
idea, yeah.
I'll bring it back on the Monday, to be sitting all week. Okay.
Me,
It's fun
that's
to
it
drive.
for correspondence, we'll go ahead into public comment. Any public comment? That means she's calling or? That mean?
I mean, someone just got on using their phone.
Oh, that.
They called in rather than,
Lots of ice. You see that,
Yeah.
when they come up, they were out here and I talked
Yeah,
to
good.
Steve and Johnny, they come up. One thing, we need to get that search and rescue car out there now that they're not gonna sell it. They can take it over to the ambulance shed or something, so they can actually push the snow out of the way and we have more.
Which one is that? The,
Like the one right there.
the expedition.
oh, okay,
Expedition.
they're gonna, yeah, they have room in the, down there, don't they, in the.
At least we're getting some room, then that pickup will be gone today probably, cause it's for. it's
Surplus.
bid today,
Alright.
and then if we can get rid of that other white one, they can take it. I don't know who's on search and rescue that, Dwayne, you're.
He was, but he's no longer around. There's two, I know there's
We
two
could
people. on it.
Find out, you know, I told Scott, well, maybe they better get it out of there. Or it gets ran into, or it's just, it hasn't moved.
I did talk to Dave and he said when weather's good, he'll be working on the rail there. He's working on the jail cell welding it. And
Did he call you?
no, he was here at the courthouse.
Oh, 'cause I called him, I want these little dogs,
Yeah,
it keeps, just like the water fountain downstairs, looks awesome, but it needs to be wired. So
he said Finler's gonna come
I guess
in.
we just gotta push a little more to get, I just want the stuff wrapped or not tied, but I think we just need like the Justin piece, she said, well, this needs. So there's
Get
not
these
these
little projects done.
excuses that, you know, they can't do this or that, let's do what, get
Get
stuff
get
wrapped
it
up.
done, yeah.
Yeah.
And what, folks, almost a year.
The yeah.
Is
agreed,
the water
agreed.
thing downstairs filtered?
The is it in already? Yeah,
Yeah.
that is a filtered
Yeah.
system.
And it's
Yeah,
just bottles and stuff?
Mhm.
yeah, all the schools have them now.
And
It's cool.
How many bottles they fill.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
It's
pretty
green.
cool, it just
Green.
needs to be wired, he said that,
So it's
The day I
cold.
talked to him last week, he said the next day Finley was supposed to be here, so I haven't been down there this morning, so. I don't-
Yesterday he hadn't been there yet, but he said he was coming.
I guess I just wanna get some of this little stuff wrapped up, so, cause there's a couple other things that might be
Yeah.
coming up.
Agreed.
So
We
on
can't
the
keep,
moving the JP into her new office. Is she looking for new furniture before she moved in?
So I spoke with her last week and so the wiring is pretty much good. As far as the state has said, that bookshelf that's on the wall, she thinks she wants Janine to remove and take off, and then she needs the room painted. And then she will be ready to move, but there is a discussion over some of the furniture and the moving of furniture and the getting rid of some of furniture. And I believe as far as new office furniture, I think her desk is fine, but I think, excuse me, her clerk, I don't think that big desk will fit in that back office. So I think they'll have to get Jamie a new desk.
I guess my opinion, this is just me speaking, I wish she'd come in and talk to us. Not that, I
Mhm.
appreciate what you're doing, cause
Yeah.
I asked you to talk to her, but. It'd be nice to see her now and then, just to ask her some stuff and, I mean, we're all here and I mean, we're trying to make this work and it gets
I think she's real hesitant to be on the public record. So it might be that one commissioner could,
And it's pretty much just like this, it's nothing about her job.
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
just-
the office.
it's housekeeping matter.
And like, then we know. Like that desk, can we take that desk apart and put it in there, it's stuff like that, that's all I'm asking. I don't want. But I know she don't,
Potentially could arrange it to meet quarterly with her, with one commissioner or something, so it's not a public meeting. Just
But why
throwing
would
out
she-
there.
I know she mentioned something that. Because of her position, that she feels that. Yeah, like you said, some kind of.
I think maybe another judge gave her the advice to not going to the public, to create a. Kind of create issues
Right.
doing that, but
I
I don't
guess,
necessarily agree with that, but that's her.
I guess what I just, it's not like I'm asking about cases or. I just was worried about like, why is it gotta be paid, what's, stuff like that, where we're getting. Really in the middle of this, which, I asked her to ask her stuff, but I just, does it need painted or can we move ahead? It seems like we're dragging our feet to get there.
Maybe you could talk to her about meeting, commissioner meeting with her quarterly to talk about some of these things. But
Cause it's just a courthouse building, it's not to do with the job.
She's an elected official. And
I know she has her rights, but. I don't know what else really is there stuff that we could say, well, yeah, maybe we get Dave to fix this or tear this down, cause it's gotta come through us anyways, she should bring up.
yeah, that was my question, is if they're still needing Dave to do stuff down there, or the painting is gonna be
I think
someone else, isn't it? Or
Janine
Janine?
is gonna paint.
Okay. So Dave potentially done unless you have down there anyway, unless you have to.
Yeah, I think so.
Just wanna make that work, and I mean, it's been a year now, and we're just. It's like it's.
so I guess anytime Janine can get in there, and the sooner the better.
Mm, I guess we're better, yeah, we maybe have Janine come up here and. Talk to her and see what she needs to paint it, you have to scrape the wall, I see, that's the thing, we don't know if, what's wrong with it, in there.
I think there's like one spot where I think it was like a light fixture was removed off the wall that was patched or.
Probably is a good idea before moving furniture into payments, and
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
then don't have to move those out again, that'd be my thing.
That's all, I mean, it's just, to see what we can do to make it
One.
better for her.
Mhm.
Any other public comment? Who are them two phone things?
I don't know.
No idea,
She can ask me, Ron.
they just have their phone numbers. They're in there.
Oh, you got that going on.
But
Your knee.
oh yes, I tore my patellar tendon playing basketball with my boys, so getting old is no fun.
How
My
long do you have
kneecap,
to wear that?
for, man, I'm inside my house, I can go without it being out about on the ice and the stairs, doesn't, or. But yeah, my kneecap was up here in my thigh.
Oh, that just hurts.
Have we took anything away from this experience?
Doctor said it's not playing basketball. It was nothing to attempt, well, 3-on-3 with my boys and going in for a layup. I wish I had said it was. Say a slam dunk it or something. Like, didn't even get off the ground. So, yeah, I take it a lot away.
The thought was there anyway.
Well, I was in a straight leg brace for a long time. That's just like a prison. Well, yeah.
All righty, is there any public comment? Being not, I think we'll go ahead and move on to the weekly report with Road and Bridge, Paul. We got lane millings, additional truck closing of operator mechanic. We'll just start out with the lane millings. First.
Yep. So. It's it'll wind up, it'll be about. You might as well just figure 200,000 to do it. To chip seal it. Is. Over double from when the last time we paid. I think we paid about $20,000 last year, per mile, or a couple of years ago, and now it's going to be between 40 and 45, that's just what they're saying.
So, and this is just to finish what has been started.
Yeah,
How many miles were you thinking of going?
a couple, and part we could get with the millions we have, would be close to 2 miles.
Alright, so that'd have to be bid, publicly bid.
That price.
Yeah.
That price you're saying around 200, that's dropping to,
Yeah,
okay, that's everything.
The 200,000 covers in full to finish up
yeah,
that stretch of road that needs to be finished up.
right. And then we'd be using our own stuff, the only thing that would be bid would be the chip seal.
Okay, so trucking you wouldn't have to.
We already have all our truck bids out and
Okay.
put in. And some of that would be,
We'd use 2 of our own, and
Yeah.
then being it, bringing it from there all the way up here, we'd be using.
so we'd recoup some of that,
Yeah.
I just.
but they're gonna be here twice this year. And they would wanna put us on the early August, late July chip seal. So
And Chuck was for it this morning.
I talked to Chuck, he said he's for it, and it's the saying that he was for it.
Is there only one company in the area that does that work, or is there multiple?
We put it out a bid a few times, we've only got one
Yeah.
person to ever do it.
I should still,
We kind of use them due to the fact we save so much because they're moving in.
Yeah.
And they're doing something with
Right.
the state,
Right.
that's why we always.
so it should be, publicly bid.
That's what they do. For a living is just chip seal, and the other companies, they're paving and then they chip themselves. But.
Yeah.
So that's that.
We say,
Who'd you touch?
no, they really would.
When would you be thinking about having it, I mean, would you want it, paper next week and get it going, or what were you thinking?
Well, I think it's, this is on that, we're talking about the wish list and stuff that we.
Oh, yeah, so it's not a done deal, yeah.
But I think if we're gonna do it, it's, we really gotta look at it, cause if they're gonna be here and if they put us on and we can get it done. That's the whole deal, so it'd be. I'd say in 2 weeks, that way Chuck will be back and we can vote on it. and-
Okay, so you're saying that they're gonna be here a certain time, a couple times.
Yeah, the only time they could do it would be in the late July, early August.
That's when you would,
That's when we have to be ready for them.
okay,
So
so, yeah,
We get it by a month before or something, make sure it's all ready, so when they come.
at least a month before.
so and then knowing that this is something that. We're gonna throw in the budget, or is this part of the wish list of the tremendous?
I guess this is what we need to talk about.
Because if we have budget power to chip seal, then
It'd be in August, and you could say, well, we'll commit to budget it, so that
Yeah.
one could be in
Yeah.
the budget. And, there's, yeah, no
No,
immediate rush getting in the newspaper, like I say, wait for Chuck to get back and again.
Well, and that, yeah, and this is something that would be, right now, we're agreeable, and this is something that we would decide for budget process during the budget period.
The only thing I'd say is if you want to bid out earlier, then basically you can commit to those funds earlier and then
Okay.
budget it, but. It's up to you, you can wait to put it out to bids too,
So explain bid out, I thought. Or do you have to put it out for bid?
it's gonna be over 80,000.
Just the
so,
chip,
yeah.
the chip.
Just the
seal.
chip seal
Yeah,
part
just
of
the
it.
chip seal, the millings
Yeah.
we own, the truck, and we have two of our own, and then we'll have to, the other guys that we already have on, but all we have to do is the chip seal and bid it out.
Yes,
So you would put the bid out, and the people that are gonna be here, that time frame. Would, if they would throw in their bid,
Sure.
and then they would tell us when.
yeah, we'd say in a bid like to be done, doing in August or whatever, and then they
Just
can,
like they
yeah.
did last time.
Yeah.
when we made-
or maybe you talk me into doing it for a little bit under 80 and then you don't have to bid it.
Cheaper the better. Cause then we gotta put it in the paper and all that too, and I mean, like,
I don't know what you have to bid on it.
So, yeah, okay,
that's why I said like, two
But-
weeks, give you a little time to talk to them more, maybe have a exact, and then we'd know for sure, Blanche, that.
okay, so this would be something if you talk to them and they could do it. Under, a little bit under 80, then I wouldn't have to put it out for bid.
Correct. Would you, do you need the gravel too, or you already have that?
We have it.
Okay, so
What-
just
what-
the actual-
Go ahead.
the actual, the work with the ceiling and doing all the work.
Yeah, we have all of it. The county owns all the material already. So what I was thinking of doing is calling Hans today and having them come and survey our chip pile and our, millings pile. both. And then they get really close to figuring out exactly how far we can go.
All right,
Then we'd have
Yeah.
a better price, that good.
Yeah. and that would be something you could go forward right now
Right.
and do that. But
That's
you
what I
have
was thinking.
budget power right now. To go forward and get it set up, right?
That's why I'm saying that way we could do it either a week or 2 weeks, and that way that, we're not. then we'll have
Well,
all
because
the-
what if we got enough to go 1.5 miles?
Yeah,
You know, so then you're cutting that, you know, it just needs to be done. Then we know exactly where we'd be at. Yeah, close, you know.
okay, so if you only had enough to do 1.5 miles and you wanted to do 2 miles, then that's gonna cost more to get the materials to.
We just do 1 mile.
But we only have so many millions. No, you're right.
No, just do what we have to. When we're out, we're out,
Route,
Cause we ain't gonna
Yeah.
get more.
yeah, I think so.
you know,
What road is this? The
East Fork.
Eastport? Well, whenever you're ready for something from the paper, you know.
Okay, well, I figure when he comes back, and give him a week or
Yeah, if,
see what talk to everybody and then come back. Get this, cause who's to say that they can have a ready survey by next week, that's what I said.
You don't know.
Let's just go 2 weeks, in 2 weeks we'll have it. Then we can bring them back.
Well, I'm sure he's got them, you know.
You had terrible things.
well, once you approve it, like it says, if it's under 80, they're the only one that ever bid on it.
Right, so. I guess the next thing is an additional. Truck. That was that one that we was talking about, that was down somewhere, it's a single axle and 4-wheel drive. He sent one little video of him, the motor running and the guy walking around, but Chuck wanted a. Visual or a video of it doing whatever, but I don't.
I can. Have him try and just take a video as he walks around it with it idling, but, you know, we have the pictures of,
Okay, I'd like to make a comment here. I think this is essential, this truck,
yeah,
simply because of the fact that we're gonna be hitting smaller roads, we're gonna have people coming in. And we're gonna have to do more, we're gonna have to add more to our list, it's not. This might happen, this is
And then we'll,
happening,
And this isn't on, this is on the wish list, this truck is one that we talked about. being
Yeah.
Off the wish list.
Yeah.
I just want to big enough somebody
Yeah.
on your budget, no, this is.
I mean, no matter what it is anyway, you're gonna spend $100,000 on it, let's just say. I still wanna go look at it,
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
you know, just not give them 100 grand, let's bring it up here. You know,
Well, so you can, there's two things you can do with your wish list, and you can do the. Public hearing, do a budget amendment prior to the end of the fiscal year. Or you can wait and budget everything in the new budget, so commission has to decide on when things are gonna be
Well, I think
purchased.
we need to move ahead on it and let him go look at it, yeah, I don't want to buy, and then it's done and took care of, then come back, it might be a pile of crap, once he gets a.
So one thing. We're anticipating this in the new budget year. We have budget power to go and look at this. And there's no reason why we can't, because we're going to pretty much. This is something that is gonna happen. I don't agree.
Yeah.
Good, I think it's gonna happen whether it's this truck or not. It's
I
gonna
think
happen.
we need to look at it, you like it. Ask for it, if we have to purchase it, like you said before. The budget year's ended, we can adjust the budget, we can do, like I said, budget amendment. And put the monies in from wherever, and it can be considered unanticipated income to increase the budget. Is that correct, Lynn?
Correct, yeah, correct. I would. Consider doing, you have the LATCF monies, potentially doing a, public hearing on that and budgeting those funds.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll move on to the next one. You got to, we'll look at it to see.
Okay. Just one other quick thing on that, you know, we're talking about that truck, back to that a minute. At some point, we're gonna need to make a decision and order the stuff that's gonna go on it, so that we get it before it's.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, so the 180,000. Give or take, is for the truck.
You know, that's hoping to have everything all done for around 2.
So you would have another 20,000.
So
The truck
usually.
and everything included would be 200. Is
Yeah,
that what you're saying? So then that gives you 400,000 that you want.
no,
Well, I'm
No, I'm
talking
talking
about the
about-
200,000 chip sealing too.
oh,
You're on your wish list right now.
oh, okay, here.
You get where I'm coming from?
Yeah, I thought you were thinking that the
No.
equipment was 200, the truck was 200.
Yeah, I was looking at the 180,000 that I thought was mentioned. Prior to date. And then the 200 for the chip. Which we'd have to look at this and just see if this is a necessary thing that we're gonna have to get into the budget and it's gonna happen.
Sure.
And that's 400,000.
And it's back on the agenda at 10:30, so we go through, that's. Something else is gonna be, that will be coming up on the wish list, and we go into it. That's something else.
What's this thing?
You put your cold patch in it,
Oh,
and then it keeps it hot and it holds several tons. And when you get down there, you can get something done like your rock brick or whatever. Right now, we're doing it, hauling it in a little tiny trailer and making hundreds of trips instead of 2.
okay, so looking ahead. Is there gonna be a lot of this cold patching as you,
There's a lot all the time. And if you have something like that, you could send 3 guys down there.
where this would pay for itself? maybe?
Absolutely. I mean, you send 3 guys down and they go to work all day rather than driving back and forth and back and forth.
No, I
with-
see
with
what you're
two,
coming
you know.
from, yeah.
I should have took a picture of the little trailer that we're using now.
Yeah,
Alrighty.
It's just an idea.
Okay, well, we're gonna move on here. The next part of it's closing of the operator mechanic position. We have 2 applicants. We close it tomorrow. Today's the last day, right, Billy?
You guys haven't given me the official date to close it. Whenever you want to close it, we can officially close it.
So I think where we got 2, we need to jump on this right away, and I'd make the motion to close it today.
On the news, in the newspaper.
Everything, yes, so that we can move
You
ahead.
have a proxy from,
Well, we started doing them each,
well, this is something, closing position I can do.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah,
Yeah. Don't need a proxy. Yeah. Two of you are
well, I
support.
think we got some people, so let's go ahead and then we can talk about the next part and you.
It was open till filled, right? I mean, that's
Yep.
what it's, yeah, so,
So we
yeah,
got,
you
yeah.
can, you
So
can do that.
I'll-
So we're close tomorrow or close today at 5.
Close today at 5, because it's the end of the month, and then we can open up in March, and then we can set our days for when we want to start interviewing. Does that sound? good,
Yeah.
Paul?
Yep.
Wayne?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and make the motion, we close it today at 5.
I'll second it.
Any public comment? James, none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, so. On this next part, it's a decision discussion and all the matters on it, This is gonna be one of them deals, when I talked to Chuck this morning, he was been thinking about it and he was. Pretty much in favor, I don't like speaking for him. I wish he was here, but whatever, but. This might be one of them deals. That we put this in and we try to hire for how long and part-time and that, we have 2 people that are applying. My personal opinion right now is, we're getting more stuff coming, more roads, taking on these other roads. Doing this and that. Why would, and then we have other people that might retire here and whenever. Wouldn't it be a better time to hire both? And train them both at the same time?
If they're applicable, I mean. if they-
I'm not saying that we're
Yeah.
going, I'm just saying that this,
If they're both, if they're good candidates, allow.
they still got meat or whatever and blah, blah.
Yeah.
I guess that's just my opinion on,
Okay,
it's
so
so hard to find people who wanna do anything.
what you're saying is right now you're kind of in limbo because you don't know, you have people that are telling you that they're not gonna be here for,
Yeah, we definitely got 2 guys retiring. We don't have a date. But we know that, we know
2 more, you feel.
2 for sure. at
So
some point.
that actually creates a hardship. Not knowing that if there is, I think. This budget time frame, if you were to hire 2. It would be something that, it would be another situation where. We'd have to take money to fund it so that they wouldn't, but then that would be unanticipated income. And it's legal to do that. You can do that. You can. you
Same
can-
process.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm talking to Berlin Jesse and the state crew and they're down people on the state crew. I think that's a
Yeah.
good paying, good benefits.
Yeah.
It's a tough time.
Well, that's why I'm saying this is opportunity, and then if we lose one guy, you know, we're eight, and if we lose 2 more down through, you know, so they.
So the one employee is done at the end of April?
Yeah.
Okay, so you would want to hire. I mean, I know in the application, it was, you wanted to hire the first. Of March, which you wouldn't be able to because they have to interview, but
Right, I just think if they're, whatever, if they're good, let's get them to work.
if you think you have 2 qualified people, then you want, and Chuck wants. To look at hiring the 2 qualified people, because there's a possible hardship. Like, and then you have the rest of the month of March and April to train. To get 2 people trained,
Really, we're just to have one,
yes, yeah,
Like we did,
for
I
Nate,
mean, we had Nate for
Yeah.
3 years. And. Without all the extra stuff that's coming out, so
Yeah.
it's not like we're hiring 2 extra
no,
guys.
no,
Because we do have 1 lead
Right.
immediate.
yes,
that's what I'm saying, that's why it's.
I got here a hardship.
I know. I keep sliding closer to you, he's been in the office 2 days.
no, I think, yeah, that makes perfect sense.
I don't know if you have to make a motion on that or.
Yeah, I would, yeah,
Okay, so I'd make the motion that we hire two guys if they meet the.
Qualification groups.
if they're acceptable
If they're
employees to
acceptable
the.
employees.
You know, they might found something else by now, that's the whole thing, that if a person waits and. It sounds like we can do interviews Thursday, and Chuck said he can't now, so somebody would have to be on, there's, Ben,
Paul.
Paul, we need one more person.
So you won't interview them or give
Well, I can interview if that's acceptable, but I. It's going to, but he don't think he's gonna. He said that he didn't think he could do it this week, maybe next week, but I mean, if. It's nothing against Chuck, but if we keep postponing, we're in date. I just soon move ahead this week, and go ahead, and I guess if it's okay if I do it, I can't do it tomorrow. But I
Thursday.
can do it Thursday,
Thursday, 10 to 11,
Thursday at what?
from 10 to 11,
Yeah,
perfect.
that'll work.
And,
Is that right, Glenn?
Had, side note, is the reference check been done by Michelle, or that's being done?
So, the way Michelle told me to do it, she had me come up with a little thing that during the interview, we have them sign. That allows us to do a reference check and a background check, and then we do that following
Are you
year.
good with that Thursday one? You don't have.
Yeah, we are, the sooner the better.
This year, are you good with?
So
Yes,
my advice would be, if they are hired, it's hired conditional upon them passing that reference check, that's all.
Well, that's the
I
thing.
think Leonard should say that.
Say they both qualify Thursday, and then actually Thursday get the stuff over and they could actually start Monday.
does that have to be in a meeting to hire them or not?
No, we can do it right then. Thursday, we can do it, we can say, well, I have, and we send them a letter or phone or whatever. Or if they both are qualified, we can tell them right then, well. One of the questions is, when you're ready to go to work, can you work Monday?
Right.
Can you start Monday
Yeah.
morning or whatever?
Yeah. That's a
And
good
then.
question.
Am I
Okay, so-
talking too much about it, or?
No, we should, yeah.
I guess I don't want them to feel that I'm gonna hire most, but
Right.
once we do this, one night, one night,
Right,
but that's.
So normally we interview them. And then. We'll let them leave and then we'll discuss it. You know, so they're not sitting there thinking they're just gonna get a yes or a no.
Yeah.
Right there, I mean, we need to be able to talk about it after they're on for a little while.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no, we're not.
And then.
Yeah.
They get a call that night and a letter from Billy in the mail on Friday or whatever.
Well, you have the deal where you're marking,
Mhm.
yeah, so.
Yep.
Can go over that
The
sheet
sheets.
where they mark out
I guess
high
that's,
grades they got.
Right.
that's what we'll do with it, we'll be here. 10 o'clock Thursday.
so would this be something that maybe right now you're not making this decision would be made after you interview both of them. To decide if both of them qualify or just one qualify?
Well, I think this here opens it up, though, if they both meet, that we can actually. We wouldn't have to wait till next Tuesday, and then we'd have to wait, you know, this way that we have, why we're bringing it up, so we can actually sit here and say. If they are qualified to meet the stuff, go ahead and we could tell them later that day, so they could start Monday and not Wednesday.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise it's another week off.
That kind of,
Yeah, no, that sounds good to me.
so I guess,
And what the hell we've been looking for?
Okay, so being neutral here. And your idea is, and your motion was, then say that motion again. And I'll look to you to say if this is something that I can second.
do you want to?
Who's gonna second it?
Well,
You don't have,
on that. Note, I will say that too, that I was talking with Chuck today. And he also told me that. To say that if they were both. Good qualified people, he wouldn't be opposed to hiring two people.
okay, So that's his
That
second
must have
then.
been the proxy.
Proxy,
then.
okay.
So he gave me his proxy this morning,
Okay,
so I guess I hate doing that without, but with what happened in that.
well, if Blanche doesn't feel comfortable seconding it, then that's. The concern there is the two right away, or what's the?
The concern is one of the applicants is my son.
Okay, but you're not,
We just-
you're not voting on,
Hiring.
you're not voting on hiring, so you don't have, in my opinion, you don't have to recruit yourself because you're general, there could be, more applicants come in
Right, coming
today.
in today,
So
okay.
you're not saying you're hiring your son, you're,
Right.
I think you're second that say if they're qualified by that interview
Right,
committee, and you're
yeah.
not on the interview committee,
Okay, and
so I
that-
think you can second. it.
yeah, and they're like,
This is just to
okay,
move ahead.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
okay,
yes.
So do I have a second?
I say.
Okay, any public comment on that?
Elena.
Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. I don't recall Chuck ever saying anything that he, one, wasn't going to be here today, or number two, that he was giving you proxy. Mr. Adler,
Adler,
say my last name.
Adler, A-D.
My last name?
I'm not getting into this. I talked to Commissioner Hinkle this morning.
Right, you talked to him this morning. And I'll talk to him this morning, and you guys got his approval, and by proxy, you can speak for him. I don't think so. Usually, and I remember with other meetings, when Barney wasn't going to be there, it was said that he wasn't going to be there, and he would give the proxy over to somebody.
This was not a planned deal that he wasn't gonna be here. This was an emergency. So yes,
Well, you're making decisions as an emergency now too.
oh, knock it off.
So you're not having to use.
Or Adler, keep it up, Adler, whatever your last name. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're not needing to use it right here. I would say, having a text or something from it would be sufficient. But I don't think you need to use.
But
the
you already
proxy.
said, you already stated that
Yeah,
we didn't need to use his
Correct.
proxy. He
Correct.
gave his proxy,
yeah,
but there's no reason to use it, so we're not using it.
Will you second it?
yeah.
And I
you said that.
second it.
So I put that in there, so you're not gonna use, not use the proxy, right, for this.
And he just then what Paul was talking about, that he talked to him, and gave him update on it. He was saying, he can help all that. I mean, we're doing everything right. It's just every time. She's always, everything we do is wrong. It's.
Why did
If, he asked you to-
be here?
That's what I thought.
He asked you to convey a message, yeah. No,
No,
that's consistent with what he's been saying as well in previous meetings, right?
yes. So we'll go ahead and move on, or all in favor?
I,
Aye. Motion been carried and passed. So, any other comments on the road and stuff?
Yeah. I'd like to move to split shift 4 10-hour days again, starting tomorrow, March 1st.
That's where they usually do it.
you have
So
to get a hold of the union to do that, though, right?
what's that?
You have to get a hold of the union.
No, because we already have our paper that we were good anyway for the whole year.
Oh,
So,
okay,
it's within your guys' discretion, and you guys, we flipped it back, to 5/8. And we'll still have people there anyway on Friday.
right.
And I asked Chuck about that, and he said he's fine with that, but you guys are here, it's up to you guys, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good, because there's gonna be somebody there on Friday anyway, so we
Well, it gives us some time to get some stuff done in the afternoon.
So go ahead, we don't have to make a motion or nothing on that, should we, or should we?
Yeah, I do,
It's already in.
yeah, they already agreed to it. And said that, trying to think what the actual language of the bit. You have authority to do it, but they have final, can change it, is that what it?
Correct.
Okay, yeah, so
And
don't,
then I definitely get something from, the union, if that they are okay with what we've done.
We already have it.
Okay, that's just
Yeah.
what I, just to make sure. All right, so that'll start tomorrow.
So,
Anything else?
what we'll do is we'll go 10, 10, and 4. And then be back
Get your,
to make it come out. That's all I
you
got.
got it figured out.
And I guess I'll figure out when I'm gonna go to look at that truck and we'll go from there, but, it won't be, we're done with these interviews and that stuff, so
Okay. What's the deal with the backhoe? Is it done?
the backhoe should be done today,
Okay,
finally.
okay. That's for this. Down there, we have to fix it.
It just, yeah,
Anyway,
oh, and then on that. Drilling a well, the Beaver dump, you know. I was just reading some emails where they were thinking maybe they could run a water line or something, a main in from. The town or whatever, we wouldn't want any part of that, we just drill a dang well. Be done with it.
yeah, I just wouldn't have our own well, not have the name of theirs.
And it's out of the city limits,
Yeah,
right?
and then it's
Yeah, let's,
up to the some town's property, I guess that's
yeah,
the deal.
yeah, I was looking at that. Contract with,
Yeah, it's
So-
on for. I see it here.
So,
Alrighty, kind of just trying to move ahead here. We're behind, anything else?
don't you leave, we got to do the. Fuel tax thing.
oh,
So we'll go ahead and move into the fuel tax. Right, yearly fuel tax certification and roadway mileage, 2024 discussion decision. We need to have a motion on and be signed if we accept the mileage on it, you know, what it was.
Oh, here's your maps.
So we decided not to lay them out.
We can go lay them out over there.
It'd be easier if we laid them out on the tables over in the election office.
I think we need to look at them, it's gonna take a little bit, Next one's a closed session. Yeah, I guess we got kind of behind, I know.
go over there and then come
Yeah,
back here for your
Yeah, we
decision.
tried to look at these last year, with papers all over and little teeny tiny desks, and the public's welcome to come look,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, so you say you'd be,
Benefit to the county, that's why you want to look, because there's any road that's accessible by a two-wheel drive, big, great.
so you'd be away, like 10 minutes and we'll be back on record.
Yeah.
So we'll be out of the office or just move over.
Move over, yeah. And this can stay on and open.
You ever remote?
It's all, this dies of it. Bugs.
well, you're on time. Huh? Oh, yeah, it's already rolled out. What?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I'm just gonna leave that on.
I want to get on. So they got it. Sounds good.
Doing good. Didn't see in person. Oh, I've got a trial too, 2-day trial. Not guilty, but it was kind of a scammer guy, a contractor, and but jury just thinks it was civil, and she got the civil.
Yeah, it's hard to put that.
Yeah,
Those
that's-
days, you know, and.
yeah,
I've ran across, you know, that's in construction, it's my whole life.
yeah.
I think if your contractor has a lawyer. A different contractor.
Yeah,
I, all my friends, are like, I gotta call my lawyer, it's like, you got a lawyer. Let's just do a good job and be
Yeah.
honest, you know.
have mine brass and test plans, like the other problem with customers or whatever, he's an expert with it, he's like. No, the customer's always right, if they want something changed, I get it changed. It's about the yield, but this guy. Asked for half down, he kept coming back for money and then left the job and come back, he said he'd come back here, he does. Jury. Yeah, jury. Didn't want- But it came down to jury, didn't put him in prison, because he'd already got it, because he said on the stand, yeah, usually that's a kiss of death, and he said, yeah, felony practice. But.
Yeah.
It's super.
Mixed up, and then even when it goes to the civil side. People try to get them that.
Yeah, you're right. Get a judgment, it's not them just cutting a check, you gotta go out there and get peace. Yeah, just working out, being his own boss or whatever, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah. What do you up to? Basketball's all over.
Yeah, basketball and all over, so it's a little fun, yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, I've been going. But I think the boys are really cool.
Yeah, it's.
I don't know, Ben's not doing track, but he just
Well,
worked on the boat. And lived, have like energy.
yeah.
Are they gonna be good at baseball? Or,
We better meet.
you know, coach?
I don't think so.
When did it start practicing?
They'll try to start probably this month.
Yeah.
I'm trying to. I don't know if they ever get the facility.
They're trying to run something.
Their new coach is great.
So it's good, isn't
Yeah, basketball. They need help coach kids.
I think you're saying in private. Yeah, she's on.
Oh. No, I did want to. I never. Yeah. Well, I haven't.
Or, you go up right now and look at it, tell her things you need to tweak, and want to say what you want to know, come up, when you're done.
You think something needs to be changed on it?
Well, I think it's pretty good, but there might be some things. Minor modifications or add stuff, but
Well, I need your own, okay, take a look at it quick.
yeah, good. I would text me when you're done, and I'll come up and look at it.
If I change anything, even though.
I would just to make sure. You're fine with it, but it's good, but
No. Longer than here. I'm down here, I guess now, right? I'll go up there and see her quick.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe I'll go up there real quick too.
All right.
We're gonna have affidavit, we're gonna have all witnesses do affidavits.
Brownsville.
No.
Be right back.
What do you say?
Well, and this is, you all have the same people.
And that is. How often do we change commission districts?
Never.
No, I mean, yeah, it has to be changed through population,
Plus you have to go through it, it's on the whole there, so.
but don't they have to come forward and say, does it need change, and we say no? But it doesn't need change. I mean, maybe it's good, map, maybe did a map thing. And the districts are. There's no change, population.
We're thinking about this, they're thinking about paying and stuff. And we end up costing a bunch of money, we could have been doing all that, so that's I think why we never really ever been asked that, but I'm afraid, you know how much that costs, I mean, we are putting that in movie history. I guess really bad it is. All right, well, I'll entertain a motion on the yearly fuel tax certification roadway mileage. 2024.
Make a motion to certify the roadway mileage for 2024.
Next second. Any public comment? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion to carry that. The next one's a closed session, personal matter. We'll have to have you.
Also, Peter.
This is a closed session.
Oh.
Right, this one.
Mhm.
Okay. Did you wanna? Trying to see if we can jump ahead, but better not, because I always complain the fishing game don't, so I better. Yeah, we better go with. Alright, so this is a closed session,
Okay,
it's up to you, if you wanna close or open, or if we want, this is a.
here, I'll let me get you into closed session.
Oh, I.
Right now. There you go.
Okay, we're back on, we had closed session for personal matter and we were. Filling out the roadway mileage that we. Accepted and approved on the minutes. I know we don't. So now we're into the road maintenance agreement, insurance recovery discussion decision. Blaine was gonna come back down, I hope, very he's coming. We'll give him a couple minutes to get down here, but. My thing here is. We start dropping insurances on stuff. I know a lot of people. We're we're telling them they have to have it. But then if we turn around and say, well, you only have to have half of it. What if this is to cover them too, and the county, so what if something happens? Tomorrow we drop the insurance today down to this and something happens tomorrow. I think it's putting the county in a bad situation, maybe I'm wrong, but, boy, we're talking about the insurance deal.
Okay,
I was just telling them that. I'm against lowering it due to the fact that. The way stuff's coming and he's talking about $1 million houses and all this up there, which shouldn't be, nobody should be judged if you live in a $5 house or $1 million house. I think we all should be, whatever. But if we start dropping this brings in now, then do we have to go out black line until we do all that? And then do we have to, I mean, I don't think we should drop the insurance. I think it's a thing it's covering them. There's
I definitely don't think, like, dropping, saying they don't have to get, there should be a minimum amount. The maximum liability that the county has is the 1.5 million aggregate. And generally on things that are risky, you usually want that, like if you're, example, if you're allowing people to rent the chapel at Georgetown Lake and they're having alcohol there, I think you'd want the full amount.
one of his comments he threw out last week was, well, I know that people over here don't have that. Well, I don't know what he was talking about, but we are talking about Hatcher up here.
Yeah,
And as bad as that road is, and what he said, he keeps saying that he's not asking for nothing, that he didn't want the county to do, but yet he's still saying, well, he was complaining that they didn't show up. Well, that is asking, and that's my.
yeah. I would say that I think 250,000 of liability insurance is a good amount, but you're right, there's always exposure there, but.
Well, if he's plowing down and hits somebody or somebody with a snowmobile, wouldn't you wanna be covered yourself? I know in my business, I complain because I gotta pay a lot of insurance, but. It's pretty much you're protecting yourself.
So one question, the other road maintenance agreements that we have, are they covering the same amount of insurance? And what
I think
Mr. Hacker's saying is that it's too much money, that
I think there's a
We just-
blank there. Is there a blank for the liability, or does it say?
No, it says, I
You know,
printed it.
For each one, now that he's brought that up, if they're not paying much, he feels like he's being paid.
Or do we? Oh, maybe it does have a blank.
I guess that's kind of what you're thinking.
No, it doesn't.
Blanche, that's kind of what you're thinking, that if there's somebody else.
yeah, if we've got a road maintenance agreement and they should need to be paying the insurance on it.
Yeah,
I think
It
it
says-
all should be the same.
the road main, the template agreement we have says 1.5 million aggregate liability insurance. That's the max. The county could be, get a that person get a judgment against the county for under statute. You're right, though. I mean, the county ultimately has its own insurance. It helps, especially since it, but yeah, it's also it's protecting the person doing the plowing. And I mean, it does say the landowner named Granite County as additional insured. So it's protecting the county too, but the county has insurance coverage. That person has exposure, if they hit a snowmobiler. You look at the other thing I was thinking of too is the cost of like a single back injury can be just sky high, so there is a reason for having it. The commission could consider lowering that 1.5 million requirement, but it's up to the commission.
But do the other guys have that insurance that we're requiring? Do they have
Yeah.
proof of insurance?
Yeah, we only have one person that we have a road maintenance agreement with right now.
PR,
No, we don't have one
Oh,
with
okay.
him, Dan
Oh.
Anderson.
and he provided the
Mhm.
proof of insurance.
I just, well, Lance even, I'm not speaking for her, but even like you said, well, this could open up a big. You know, that we start doing this and lower.
The,
Yeah.
isn't the remedy, he has Paul's number now, and that if there's an issue, he can
Well,
call Paul, or,
then he called here and left a message with Billy on a Saturday, and he called his county shop on a Saturday. Well, he needs to call Paul's. I gave him Paul's work number again. You can't expect, we don't have people here answering the phone on the weekends. He understood that, but yet he was frustrated because he never heard nothing back till Monday.
No, they actually didn't get up there till Wednesday. And the snowfall, he got like, what, 6 inches, and so. No one came to plow, which we thought was maybe an oversight on the road crew, because it's a new. It's a new road, it's on, it's new on the list
okay,
to plow. So the misunderstanding's there.
And he's not the priority, so come Monday, they had to do all the other stuff, and now maybe. Now that they are notified again, if they can get there, they will get there. We told him he can't be just. Cause it snowed, they're gonna run right up there and get hit.
it's, yeah, the school bus routes have priority.
Right. Okay, so.
These people moving these places and they say they don't want them, but then the next question comes out or the saying is they do. They want it all maintained and took care of, and he's gonna hear this and come back and say, I didn't want it made, you know, but the deal is. If we can't get there and he needs to get out, he said he's gonna plow no matter what, so. I said, it's not about you, it's just about you having insurance to cover you and us.
Yeah, it's.
So if he gets out-
it's protection, yeah.
If he gets out and plows anyway, and when he doesn't have the road agreement, then what?
Okay, I mean,
Then we go with like what we did with Red Lion and
potentially is, yeah, there's. Criminal and civil liability there, I would, I guess. Thought that comes to me is that, yeah, he should realize that the plowing is not gonna be immediate there, and then to call Paul if there's an issue, and hopefully that they can
And that-
resolve.
Oops, and the other thing is, it's only, how many months is it gonna, so why can't, I talked to my insurance, kinda asking some questions about stuff, you can just get it for the winter months or the months you want, you don't have to pay it.
Yeah,
yearly.
it's Yeah,
So why? Unless his is different, I don't, you know,
I think you're right that, they'll do that. And then potentially shopping around to different. Insurance.
I just have a bad feeling we drop it and something happens, it his best regards too, I'm not trying to put him out or nothing, but it's. I just have a bad feeling it's that road and the humps in it, that's why they had to take the grader up, and then he said, well, it took them longer to turn the grader around than what the truck, well.
okay, so I understood, I thought that when we talked to him, we decided we're gonna put. The road on the list. And that he wouldn't need a road maintenance agreement, but he'd done a road maintenance agreement prior. So we wanna keep him doing a road maintenance agreement, and he has to have insurance on it. Do we wanna maybe drop it? Down, so it might be a little cheaper for everyone?
That's that preference, I mean, that's very open up can of worms.
One thing you might wanna ask him is to price out 1.5 million. You know, 1,750,000 and get, and have them price it in like several different, 2 or 3 companies. And so the commission can see what the actual cost is there, so then you can, I mean, you
Because
can
he said
really.
there's gonna be more out, like, you know, something about more build up there, well, then that was more liability, you start plowing out.
Be more issues gonna rise and more people up there, but. I would think, see from him what it's all cost, what, you know, what is, Yeah, have them priced out for. What's five, or per month, what is it per month? For 1.5 million general liability. 1,750,500, and see what the cost is.
Okay, so what we have to do today is we have to make the decision that we are going to keep the agreement that there has to be insurance coverage on any road maintenance agreement and not waive it, right?
Right.
Yeah, so I would. If you want to get more information, you could table it and.
Should we just table it before we make the
Yes.
decision on it?
The,
Let's just
um,
table it for next week and then he can comment on it and bring the stuff in, we'll send him the letter.
the other issue, if that other agreement was signed, then. Both parties are bound by it unless you want to amend that, so you're right, that's the decision on whether you're gonna, it was signed?
Yeah, we were just
So it'd
waiting
be
for.
whether you can amend that
So
agreement,
why was he doing a new one if he had one
He
signed
wants to
prior?
do a new one, he
It-
went back, he wants the insurance, or then he have a new one
Yeah.
stating. That, then he can take that to his insurance people, where the other one showing this is what you have to.
he's basically asking for amendment to.
Oh, okay,
Number one, amendment to your policy, but also two, amendment to his agreement.
So I'd go ahead and make a motion to table this for the next week, and he can comment, come back in and comment. Right, we'll get him something, an email or letter to him right away, Bill.
Yeah.
One second,
second.
any public comment on this? Being none, all in favor? Alrighty, we're quite a ways behind, but only 20 minutes, we're doing good. The Brandon Parrott Dam Tenders Report, Georgetown Lake Outflow Review, it's 64/28/34, that was this morning, 13.92. Coming up, last week was 14/28.
It's coming up with Ken. What's coming in? What do you have coming in?
I don't know what the inflows are, they're 18 plus. I did, this is it, I entertain motion to go to 15,
I'll second it.
and being Chuck's not here. I'm, not speaking with him or nothing, so. Let's go 15 this week, we'll just keep an eye on it, and we'll see what happens by next Tuesday, yeah?
What are inflows right now?
8, well, we can.
18.
And there's water's coming in faster now than it has. So in our snowpack, it's gone from 6 to 8 inches of water equivalent in the snowpack. At Peterson Meadows. And I wanna note that, we take these advice from people, it's like, like we keep professionals. And I just don't want him feeling like we're disrespecting. He opened my eyes on a whole bunch of stuff there last week. Really been explained a bunch of stuff, and I appreciate what he does.
So doing the 10, and it's been coming up. And it came up an inch. Just from last week, almost 2 inches, 13.92. So it's coming up and it's gonna get warmer, it's gonna start coming up more. We're gonna have to really probably watch it and like you said, as it gets warmer, we're gonna have to make sure more comes out.
Yeah, you want that free
Yeah.
board,
And
yeah.
it's, plus it's starting to go in, I know the ground's froze now, but it's starting to go in the ground, so I know down at the lower end of the valley. We need to keep these banks, so we don't lose all that money. So, my motion was to take it to 15.
I'll second it.
Any public comment? Being none, all in favor? We're at 15.
So then like, for example, if it keeps coming up. Like at 15, and if it comes up a couple inches, is that coming up too fast or? What?
You want to keep an eye on the freeboard right now, which is the distance below the spillway. And we don't want, we gotta have some freeboard there, meaning. Like if we need to turn it up, once it gets beyond the point, we could go to 30 and we're not gonna catch So going on now is and weekly monitor this. You know, if we keep going up, we keep losing the freeboard, then keep turning it up. So,
They're good, there's no stealing that from Billy.
Right, well, thanks. Thank you guys. Have a good day. Okay, we'll jump into the Southwest Drug Task Force MOU discussion decision. This is something that we do every year.
Yes.
Is it, are we doing all right on it? Is it?
Yeah, they, you know, the sheriff always wishes that there was more help, but it's a good deal, yeah, so. I won't speak for sheriff, speak for myself, saying it's a, yeah, good deal.
I'd entertain a motion then.
I'll make the motion. What are we doing? Oh, doing accepting the FY 24 passports. Make a motion and we accept the Southwest Montana drug passport for fiscal year 24.
Second, any public comment on this? Means none, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, well, we caught up here, we got 5 minutes left.
There's one more place for you to sign. Yeah. But to give this to the sheriff. Or you.
Can I scan it first?
Oh, it's 10:30
Should I put it in there, or should I put it in?
in the break room.
Oh, in the break room, okay.
And in the break room, that isn't gonna get any color trends and coloring books, as far as I'm concerned. No.
Yeah, we'll do this.
That was nice.
How's it going?
Hello, Sheriff.
Your ears must have been burning. They already signed it.
They signed this, but I was gonna snag a copy and fax it to you, so I have one on file in case it gets lost in your
Okay,
thing.
yeah, I need to send that back,
Okay.
probably today would be best, thanks for signing that.
My comment was, you always wish there was more, but it's a good deal, so.
It's never enough for me. I wish all the commissioners were here, because I don't know if you've seen that article in the paper about the cartels in Butte,
Yeah.
and they've seized a total of 2,000 pounds of methamphetamine coming up from New Mexico.
Talking about the Phillipsburg Mail article over there. quoting?
There was one
Yeah,
in the Peabody Mail too.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, we didn't have it. Well, our task force had a hand in that. Matter of fact, our task force, in my humble opinion, we didn't have anything to do with it, but our task force did. They initiated a lot of investigations. And that crap is ending up in Granite County. Yeah. So it's a big deal. They never do enough for me, but they do some really good work. They just do. It's worth that. I don't like having to pay to participate in it, but
Problem with the open borders, and let people.
well, you got
understand
these judges, they
better.
don't do any forfeiture on them drug dealers anymore, you know? The task force used to be
Yeah,
financially pretty well off because it's judges, but the federal judges will.
yeah,
The federal
Yeah.
judges, you know, take drug dealers' property and vehicles and guns and you name it.
yeah.
They can't get the state judges to do it anymore.
You're lucky if you get that.
So that's it.
It's in the very back. I stapled it all in one, and then I have a digital copy that I'll keep on file in case you ever need it.
He wants people to move over to the break room and you take the first.
I just say,
Oh, it's Vicky's birthday. now?
How do you want me to do that with your guys'? How do you want me to do it with your meeting?
Happy birthday, 29.
Get in the break room,
Want cake
or
here,
do you want to do it in here?
if everybody's coming in, they might have distance.
We're all gonna come in for this meeting anyway, right?
You could get your cake and bring it in. Mhm.
Have your
We
cake
could-
and eat it too.
Right?
Yeah,
Okay, so we'll just get our cake and come in here. Yeah, and everybody's.
That's why I scanned a copy for you.
Okay. That's your.
Which-
Which list? No.
I was telling Blanche, thanks for signing that MOU, because did you see the story of the cartels, how they dressed like a couple thousand pounds of meth and I don't know how much fentanyl?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that last car that I got.
That, well, our guys in that task force have a big hand in that. And it's not like it's all standing view either.
Yeah,
No,
it's getting this proof out.
Yeah.
All right,
Yep.
well, it's 10:30. First thing on the machine here. First one is public health. We're just gonna kind of go through these and.
Wanna bring up more chairs or what do you want to do?
After this, I gotta.
Saying happy birthday to Vicky in French.
You sang it in French?
That's all I know how to say. It's happy birthday to you in
You
French.
took Mrs. C's class?
No, I remember.
I
everybody
love
singing
Good
it. Every time
memory.
somebody had a birthday, they would sing it in French over the intercom.
I
We'll
love
jump
this.
into who's here. We can start with them first, that are going through each one. Let's see, so. There, right there.
I'm right. here. This
Go
is for
ahead.
the wish list. Yeah, so what we're requesting, or what I'm requesting for our officers are the proper sit stand desks, the real desks that go up and down. So and then we're looking for another cabinet in that office, another file cabinet, different size. And then I think some monitors, there's a couple of them we'd like to do the double monitors, I think. And then for the elections office, I'd like to have a sit-stand desk, and then I've got a different file cabinet that I'd like to get there, and then some folding chairs that can be put out of the way that we can have in there. We can use them. But anyway, so for the clerk and recorder's office, it's around 10,000 for the desks.
So you put 3 full time.
And it's, we want our own 3 full punch, because we're going to buy it. $50
Can't even get your own free.
And the generation.
Think we're kind of, yeah, nitpicking.
I
How
was
much
thinking
is action?
Huh?
How much they were like?
about 5,000.
So that's 5 for the clerk and recorder.
10 for the clerk and recorder and 5 in elections.
Okay, 10 for the clerk and 5 for election.
Okay, this deal is that then we're looking to see what cost is and we'll go over them. And we're not guaranteeing everybody gets everything, so. We just want to know that. And then.
And then just for
You done?
I was thinking, and thank you for letting us
Thank
do
you.
the, we've got the studded snow tires, they're on the car already.
Oh.
And I was thinking maybe it'd be nice to have WeatherTech,
what?
WeatherTech map in there, and that's. So, anyway, that's it.
Okay.
All right, that's my wish list.
Next, no, who's
Happy
next?
birthday, Vicky.
Thank you.
Who's next in line?
Vicky.
Happy birthday. Want to see you?
No.
Everybody on.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
All right, go ahead.
Who's next?
You.
Oh, well, I think we wanted 2 desks. That's what I had down there. I didn't put a price, you guys. I think they were probably around 3 for each one. Maybe, yeah, no. Smarty. And I looked at a paper shredder, which was a nice one, was like 5 or 6. And an envelope folder or a paper folder.
That was probably around.
Letter folder?
Yeah, is that? Letter,
Like an automatic.
yeah, it would be nice to do for the tax statements.
Yes, it would. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I think
Really?
that was one that I,
How much are they?
I think they were like 350.
I don't think so.
50, yeah, 350.
So. So how much?
Have that.
Two or three. For one, it was like 3,000, the other probably, it's only probably 500 or 600, so.
So I'm just trying to sort of say.
Okay.
three,
I didn't put any prices
So
down.
you're right about 4,000.
Yeah.
That like that?
So this would be something that's, yeah, so you wanna get prices and then you would put it. In your budget, in your capital outlay,
Okay, I can do that.
and
For like
giving
this
us an
next
idea of
year.
just what. We want, you know, but I think initially when you go for budgets, you would
Is that how you?
request it. And it would, they'd be in the capital outlay,
Okay. I can do that.
which,
So you wanna see these funds that we're talking about now requested in our budgets.
yeah, would have to be requested.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to.
We want transferred into your budget. And then we're showing a paper trail of what we're expending with those funds.
Did you hear that, Carol?
What?
This would be a request in your next fiscal year budget.
All right, yeah, I can do that.
Oh, I think I got mine.
So we're getting an idea of the wish list. And then just what, an idea, of, like for the county building. Or the general fund. What we can put into the general fund. From these funds,
LATCF.
yeah. And any other funds. That, are tax based.
Okay, so, yeah, if you can get some back in now where they know what we got. Okay, so, are you done?
Yes, I'm done.
I not being rude. I make sure.
Sure.
It's because it's
Sure,
your
you're,
birthday.
it's
you
good
don't have
because
to do
of
that.
my.
So what I want to do, and I've made the suggestion is. And I've talked to the commission about it, is we need to set aside funds for insurance increases and COLAs. So that we have it sitting there and we're not gonna struggle when we have a COLA that's coming forward and we can just give the COLA.
That would be nice.
My idea.
I haven't got you yet. No, we talked about that. This is just pretty much to give us heads up and see what we can do to help each person if we can, and, you know. It's pretty much just, that's the way we're going. The next one's the attorney office.
So. Every year it seems like we're using the expert fund more and more, so I'd ask that that be given like. One time a good chunk of money, and then that, hopefully then if I don't use it, then I get rollovers. So,
So that
20 or
question.
30,000 in there, but I, yeah, whatever is reasonable.
In budget wise. You're asking for a line item to increase yearly. To what's not spent to roll over.
That would be
or
the hope,
to-
yeah, so if potentially you had a big case and needed it, it'd be there, but. It wouldn't always need it.
So if there's what's left over to roll over, that would be from year to year. Say, for example. Okay, so you didn't use it for 10 years, you'd have $100,000 in there.
Oh, I don't mean, not keeping it at 30,000, not, if I didn't. Say use 5, and the next year you just put 5 and keep it at 30,000 or whatever. we're
Okay,
keeping
so
it at.
you
So
want it-
not raising it to 100,000.
Because normally you
Yeah.
don't roll over your budgets, they clear out and. But if
Yeah,
you want 30,000 in there, yeah,
That's what I mean, roll over to keep
okay,
it.
Keep it at a
Keep it at
certain-
a, yeah. Keep it
So
at
like
seven
you
hundred.
said, you said 5, and we'd have to just put 5 back in.
Yeah, that's the wish.
All right. So,
no, you may not have a new fleet.
uh,
I didn't say that.
Linda,
I actually don't really need anything in my office. Other than I would like it pieced back together. Before fly season. So that my roof isn't impacted.
what do they have to do? What's left to do in there?
He's just waiting for the weather to change so we can fix that leak that upstairs through that drain.
And then I guess I don't know if Janine wants to fix, I have one of those old tables up there, and I don't wanna put more on her. Stuff, cause I know she's already busy, so I would like my table fixed, I don't want a new table, I want that one fixed.
Got
Cause
this
it's one of
couple
those,
screws in it. We can-
well, and that one side has to be sanded.
Yeah, we have to resand it where it leaked. It got pretty messy.
Yeah, so.
We
And,
sand and refinish it.
What about this
but I don't
laptop?
wanna put that on you.
What about the laptop?
I added that for
Yeah.
Linda because she doesn't have
You
one.
don't have a
I
laptop?
don't know. When they came through, they didn't get me one, so.
They should have one.
Yeah, I mean, if I could have one, that would be nice, that,
That would help a lot.
yeah, cause then I wouldn't have to. Confuse happen like that.
Have you ever requested one in the past?
I think I requested one when they did laptops, but I was the bottom and I'm fine with that. I was the one to be chosen, so I, you know, they don't have.
How much is a laptop?
Huh?
Like $1,000.
But other than that, my office is good. I couldn't fit anything else in there.
Anyway,
It's wonderful.
Okay, sheriff's office.
I don't want a new fleet. It'd be nice, but, so. Our NDTs are 4 years old, going on 5 probably. The cost to replace those would be about $15,000, but I already have. I'm already looking at different ways for grants and stuff to fund this stuff, so. Right now, I guess, well, like the generator at the jail, it needs replaced. I think I have a grant to replace that, so I'm not. Here specifically to request any funding right now. But I'd like to see some of this earmarked for public safety. Stuff in the future, if I could. I don't know how long you guys, is that like pill money where you can save that? And then if I come to you and say, you know, we have this need, it was unexpected or whatever, and we need to. Like the radio, the primary radio and dispatch right now, we're already found the funding to replace it, it's $50,000. That wasn't really expected, but it happened, so. I'd like to see some earmark for, just for public safety
So like on that
projects.
radio deal, there's instead of us like saying give you 50, does 911 give you so much and then do
Well,
we work through that? I don't know.
There was some funds available for search and rescue stuff. That's how we got the side by side. And if we didn't use it, Sarah's here somewhere.
There's still a large amount in that.
Yeah, if we
Search
didn't
and
use, that's
rescue.
where I've been getting some of that, like to replace the radio, because the primary radio we use constantly on search and home dispatch, so. I'm not here to request anything right now, but I'd like to see a certain amount of that fund. Earmarked for public safety only in the future, and I don't know if you guys can do that, but. That would be my
I think
request.
we can set, just to set it aside or put it in there. Put it somewhere where it's a line item under yours, right, Blanche?
I think it's more of a, what you're talking about is a commitment from.
A commitment for
Commit,
public
yeah.
safety funds. Because.
What do you
know,
mean?
Some of the stuff that I need right now, I'm gonna find other funding for, and maybe we can use this money for whatever, but. I'll find funding. The MBTs, I'm really having a hard time finding funding for those. We still have a little bit of time to try to, see what we can come up with.
You're saying like commit potentially, say 50,000 over the next 5 years for public safety.
Well, how much is
Sheriff's
there
office.
total? Is it 2 million? I'd like to see if there's enough anyway. I'd like to see more than that, but I don't know.
Well, this is why we're having this. This is just all bringing to our attention so we can kind of see what we can and can't. So
Yeah.
it's not very.
Well, hypothetically, we've run into this before, where our deputy vehicle was totaled out. We were down, I had to come to you guys and say, hey, I gotta order 2 this year because We had one shot up and you name it, you know. Things come up that I can't predict, and those will happen again. Where we're down a vehicle and I have to order 2 or 3 or whatever, and I don't have a crystal ball, but I'd like to be able to come and say, hey, can we use some of that to buy a new vehicle, not a whole fleet, but, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I.
So. I don't know what seems to be a reasonable number. I'd like to see. That you take the total budget for the whole county. And what is the sheriff's office portion of that? It's pretty substantial, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe that percentage, or maybe 10-20% off that earmark for public safety. Okay, of the total. That's my proposal, but. Yeah, I think we'll find funding for our immediate needs right now, so. Okay.
All righty, we're moving on, Carol.
Well, I would like carpet, new carpet. Like carpet on the stairs, I think it's become dangerous.
That's a county building thing, so you wouldn't,
Yeah. And then the other thing, I guess my biggest thing would be to have my part-time deputy go. And I think that's probably a different budget item also, but that's gonna be very good. Pat's gonna be retiring in June. And so when her position comes up, I wanna make that full time.
What's it cost to put that carpet down? Well, I know it's probably double now, last time.
I wasn't here when we got carpet before. That was before.
I wasn't either.
I
It
guess
was way back in the moment myself.
being that the safety deal and then the courthouse, we need to maybe have somebody come up and see what it costs to put carpet down.
yeah.
The whole place needs new carpet actually.
I don't remember we replaced it twice out in the front there, you know, but- and then we did one side or both, I can't remember. And it's starting to roll up again, so we need to fix that stuff.
Well, no, one is a big tear. You can get one. So
Yeah,
the
I'm
one thing with your
thinking
full-time position, they have to justify that you do indeed need a full-time position for,
Well, I think I do.
well, I mean, you have to justify it.
I mean, I'm gonna justify it.
Well, your job description increases or.
Well, I think my workload has increased. When I started, Wayne was part-time. His secretary was part-time. They're both full-time. I mean, what office hasn't increased?
Yeah.
You know,
Of course,
more
busy.
people, more.
You don't have to expensive with that. I'm just saying that you have to justify the fact that her duties have increased between 6 full-time. Which if you can
Yeah.
easily do that,
God, don't you think your workload has increased, which,
Our cost for service doubled in the last 2 years.
Well, I think that we're all in agreement, we're just asking just to make sure we know and then get a price and how much it would cost and that, so. If we're gonna start divvying this out, so we know when we do it.
I don't know what that means.
that wouldn't be anything with this. That would be just a request on your budget that you want to put a deputy that's full-time.
And Sarah said it'd be like a $23,000 increase. Because she already gets insurance and all that.
We all know that everything people did, I calls double, triple, and we're gonna, seems
Yeah.
like it's gonna get worse.
And see what, when you say the county attorney's increase, the sheriff's increase, they're also under the umbrella of the general fund. You're not, you're separate. Your levy is completely separate than the general fund, so.
Oh, that's.
That's the difference between hiring a full-time county attorney and then his salary subsidized about 50% from the Department of Justice, so. I mean, there's a lot of things, when you say that can be. It's completely different than just because they went full-time.
Like I know this meant, you know. Usually, it used to be where I would have court twice a month. Where like this month, I think we got 6 different days scheduled. So Pat's gotta come in, smart. And then we're doing things by Zoom and that increases our workload. I think it makes it easier for everybody else, but Judge Dayton is not willing to get on our program, so we gotta send everything beforehand. So
Now, this is why we're doing this, so we kind of understand, know what people, it's a good meeting to have with all,
Yeah.
you know, everybody. And, anything else?
I know we're getting 2 new programs coming down the pike. Well, extra training. Shoot myself.
And justice court is due with Judge Fransky. We kind of talked about that. So. Anything else, Carol?
No, I mean, Billy came up and asked about furniture and stuff and. I can take it or leave it, I find with my furniture.
Okay. Well, Ben, you're up.
Clicked on there, I have 2 things, so don't know if you guys have it in front of you. But just replacing the current pickup I have was one of them. And then the other is just upgrading my projector and video conferencing equipment, so.
On that new pickup, does the other lead program, Bozeman, did they help out on that, or is it just a county pickup?
Yeah.
The one we bought from them this year,
Yeah, so that one, yeah, it's a 2015,
2050.
yeah, so Dan would have got that one.
How many miles does it have on it?
It's got 135.
My car has more miles.
And then you were looking at a new projector and a speaker setup.
Yeah, which is probably really high-end video conference deal. Is probably the most expensive part of that, so it's about $1,000, and then the projector and whatnot is maybe a couple $100, so, which I'm very happy to let other departments use that stuff too. So
Anything else?
that was it. I don't like pickup shopping, I know that.
Freaking white Chevy out there. It's got I'm teasing.
That's it for me.
Okay, thanks. Solid waste secretary, laminating machine, do you want to do about that?
Yeah, I put that down on the machine, and that probably only really a couple $100. The book, so. That's what I'll need here. I don't know anything about the dump portion of that. Maybe our. manager could answer that.
Well, they were talking about the bathroom, which I know because they're fixing them. So, I mean, if we're gonna have quite a bit of bathroom, we're fixing out, so.
Yeah,
And then we're not gonna, can't afford to just trade it on, they're buying them, but,
pretty expensive.
So like mainly on our wish list would be something that you can't really afford or you wouldn't think to get because you know, you've got your other budget details that you have to take care of within your budget. And so this would be a wish list for capital outlay for something that you could very well use and we'd be able to give it to you.
So I have a question to that, then I don't have to request that one in the budget if you guys agree to earmark some of that money, though, right?
Right.
I wouldn't have to,
Well, it has to go in your budget and then we transfer it out of there into your budget.
so I gotta put it in my budget.
So, yeah, you gotta put it in your budget what you want. And what this is doing is, okay. She wants, just an example, she wants 5,000 for this and this and this, and so in her outlay. She would request 5,000, where then we could take some of that money out of the fund and throw into outlay for the various departments.
That just doesn't make much sense to me, Blanche, because what am I supposed to do? Put my generator, my laptop computers and NDTs and our trucks and everything in that budget so I get that money? Because I'm pretty
It has to
sure,
be in your budget to spend it. I mean, we're not gonna spend it right out of, because we're gonna transfer it in.
but the situation I'm asking about is if I came and say, hey, we wrecked 2 pickups last night. I need 2 more. You can't do a transfer of that funding. to my
So you're
budget.
looking for emergency type fund that would directly come out of that fund.
What I'm asking, as long as his money's earmarked, I won't do a request in my budget, but if it's not, then I guess I'll have to, right?
That's a good idea, what Blanche is proposing there, an emergency fund. And requesting for, because
Just
if,
this wish list.
you're always gonna need, obviously, you're gonna need a new vehicle. It's
It
gonna
could be
happen.
anything. It
Yeah,
could be, yeah. So an emergency fund in my budget.
No, it'd be an emergency fund. That we earmark for emergencies,
Kind of like the pill money,
yeah,
kind of.
yeah,
So I wouldn't have to put it in my budget then.
but like for your wish list for a piece of equipment or something, yeah.
I think we can get that funded that I need to get funded. I just want to make sure that the public
Like
safety
a
and the
generator.
that's some of that money.
Would that be out of county building, no, your generator?
Well,
Generator.
I think I got a pretty good end to get that replaced. Gail got a generator from Yellowstone Pipeline. I know one of the big bosses there, he's telling me this had stuff in it, you're like, yeah, I guarantee, but he said there's a really good shot, you're gonna get a dual purpose generator for the 911 dispatch if you apply, so.
Well, that's an emergency thing too.
Yeah, and it's money we could use, you know, this for, but if you have other funding options, why not? use them?
Absolutely, and that would be what you'd want to do if you have other funding options, go for
Right.
those funding options, because this
I'm
can
going
sit
to.
there for
I'm
emergencies.
definitely gonna, but I just wanna make sure that not just the sheriff's office, but public safety in general. You know, if I know it's not ambulance anymore, but firemen or whatever, say, we need this and that for public safety. I just wanna make sure that we're getting a portion of that, that's all.
also with the grants that you're looking at too, I'd include those in your budget as well.
Or you
Yeah,
have to show
yeah.
it on your-
Yeah. So put that in your,
Yeah,
that
we're-
you're thinking, you're anticipating getting this grant, so put it in your, that amount in your budget.
well, and that's what we do is we anticipate on the revenue side
Right.
to make sure that we can put it on your expenditure side. Sure.
We can start butting heads. We can keep it up, so. Clerk and recorder.
Anybody else have anything?
I would like.
You're not, you
It's
didn't
out
put
here.
nothing down.
Well, I forgot about it, but there's toast. I'm gonna tear it apart. The picnic table. You know, that's just something, everybody goes out and eats lunch, and then the others, the health. The mental health office uses it sometimes to meet with people as well.
We need a big-
So I just wanna get like a metal one. You know, instead of that, like they have the plastic coating or whatever. Which would be
We
nice.
got a good end to get those. We got one in the back.
Where did you get
that?
plastic one?
It's from the jail supply
metal.
place. It's metal with that plastic covering.
Is it heavy?
Yep.
It's more like aluminum.
It's not aluminum. It's.
You know
steel,
how
but
much they were?
I don't remember.
I have a book.
I don't remember.
Can you kind of get her the information on it?
Yep.
That'd be great.
It's from, yeah, you bet.
Okay. And I want the sidewalk fixed out front. Still. Where we got the water running onto the sidewalk from the street. We need to raise that sidewalk and actually put a curb in there like it was in that.
That does get pretty slick.
It's awful.
It is very scary in the morning.
I
We
don't
did
know.
have a
It is
curb up
icy.
there at one time before we put this new sidewalk in.
There's masonry work outside of
You got any
it.
pricing on it? or anything?
I'm sorry.
Any pricing on it?
No, I would, you call them, you know, spade is putting that in. I don't know of any. Or, you know, people around here that does that.
I know a concrete guy.
You know, concrete back, there you go. We'll have to figure it out. But I don't think that that necessarily needs to be in this money here. It should go into our budgets or my budget, right? Or the building maintenance budget.
Building, the building thing. Cause they were supposed to have fixed that before, but they didn't, all they did was kind of make that little ditch and it still runs across there.
Yeah, the ditch freezes up and yeah, the city put a little ditch in there.
Yeah, and they put that little ditch there and it really didn't do much of anything.
And then people run into that ditch and that freezes, pushes the snow and it freezes. So we had a curve where the water
Let's
would have somewhere
sure
to go.
keep us reminded on that when you see, find somebody, give us a quote, see what it does cost. And then, you know,
That's the only thing I would like to have see done.
okay, anything or anybody else?
Oh, I got one more thing, but this is part of the building thing too. I noticed when I was up here over the weekend shoveling and it was thawing. We need rain gutters on this building because it's coming off this front step and it's separating. There's grass and mold and whatever, that moss growing there. And what it's doing is it's pushing the sidewalk away from the building. And I think that's why we have an issue with the hole in the ground over here in back that I've showed you. And then there's another one over here by, well, the mental health office.
I go ahead and I'm sure we'll agree on it, but yeah, quote, see what it does, I don't. it's gonna
Yeah,
cost a lot.
It definitely all needs
Yeah.
painting up there on that metal,
Huh?
and then the whole thing needs painting as well, but rain gutters definitely help. On that drip off, you know,
I definitely. Go
I mean,
ahead and
'cause it
start getting quotes on it. just
comes
see
right
what-
off the roof. and it
Yeah.
hits
This
the building
would
and-
be something that would be county building that has to be done. It wouldn't really have anything, it's not a wish.
Yeah,
list.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's an
I
absolute,
understand.
it has to be fixed.
But I think you're kind of looking for, to go ahead and so you can get quotes and stuff, right? Is that kind of the-
Well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, and just like your list. If you can get, like you said, quotes, and then we'll make sure that maintenance on building. gets
Yeah.
that.
You know, the
There's a gift.
dome, our dome is gonna have to be refixed, repainted and.
inside. the
Inside,
building.
yeah.
Inside,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's,
somebody's gonna be walking through there. and some plaster's gonna fall into.
yeah, yeah.
Go on
it's-
ahead.
Well, you can see
Okay.
pieces of it on the floor every now and then, you know, still, I think. But I do believe that when he fixed the dome, that the leak is fixed.
Yeah.
Thinking.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
when
haven't noticed it change.
Sure.
Painted and made it beautiful, and then how long that lasts? It was.
Few months, yeah.
Years away.
Yeah.
It was,
Again, I don't think. it's
Yeah.
the right paint, remember the.
well, but it leaked.
Yeah.
The leak did.
Yeah.
Well, the dome needed to fix for painting.
I know this is terrible, too, I didn't even bring it up, but the jail windows kind of went away. They're gonna need some attention.
Well, that's stuff that, you're gonna have
It's not on this money, but
no, but
This is
this is stuff here that you're gonna have to get. You can go ahead and get.
Yeah.
Not so we
Yeah.
kind of know, cause
We've already
you'll
got
get
that,
told the
Scott.
same thing next week.
we've already got quotes for the windows on that.
I know.
the thing is. Like last budget year, there was nothing mentioned that rain gutters. I don't know if it was mentioned to fix sidewalk.
I
We needed
mentioned the
to.
sidewalks since I've been.
I don't
Okay.
think we ever talked really about.
But
fixing
like
the-
windows,
fixing the
that would
roads
go
so
into
they
county
drain
building
it.
too.
We never
I
really.
did say something about the sidewalks, I didn't mention her, because I was wondering.
But the wall around too.
Yeah,
So there's, yeah, there's some masonry up there. in the front.
and see,
Yeah,
this
that's
is,
stuff,
this is,
yeah.
yeah, this is something that's just for the maintenance of the county building. Is where we could earmark some of that money just to go into maintenance of
Right.
county buildings, because we don't have the money.
That's a good idea.
The thing about it is we just need to have.
That's a good idea.
Quotes
Yeah.
and stuff, so we can kind of see what we got here and what
Yeah,
for.
yeah,
And how
yeah.
much.
Should I get quotes on those windows at the jail again then?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm sure that's.
because some of that money used for that would be money well spent, because they're to the point, if we don't do something with them, they're gonna rot out and we're gonna have to replace them. If they're not already.
Yeah.
I'm sure once they start tearing about like that floor and stuff, we're gonna find stuff that we don't want.
I know.
It's old.
I think one check, a good idea, you're marking some of this money for maybe building fund stuff.
Yeah.
Alrighty, well, we got, other stuff coming up, but there's nothing else, I guess we move on.
Public
I
safety.
appreciate everybody and thank you.
Building, elevator, bring the bathrooms here for.
We're still going through the things here if you want to look at it.
No, I.
We're doing some kind of more attic work, and then they're gonna have stuff back to us, and we'll know more when and what and how.
Okay.
Right now, we're kind of looking at it right, they're going right up by the judges saying, so that is a plan, I think we're all in agreement on that. And let the elevator will go now, that
Where he walked us through, so that hasn't changed then, is that what you're saying?
nothing's changed.
Okay, where he wants to put it in.
Yeah, she would just want to know what,
If it's gonna go this year.
it all depends on what the
Yeah.
comes in and if you can, you can't hardly get anybody to leave.
Oh, we have the funding, so yeah.
Yeah.
We're trying to get it go as soon as we can. Get a quote on this price. Next year, it could double.
I just wondered.
Well, yeah, every year it goes higher.
You're in the zone.
Thank you, guys. And I guess so you're gonna send me an email with the 1.5 million for the sheriff's office. Then?
Okay.
See you later.
Only I'm just one vote.
Have a good day.
Going into the shape was a company bid opening, a white Chevrolet truck.
Oh, I don't think I stamped that one yesterday.
2 bids.
Oh,
The first one. Austin Shaver, bid item 11010,
who did?
Austin Shaver.
Wow, it's more than that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second one. is
Not $10.10, is it? No.
Dave Kessler bid 676.91. So,
10 wins.
Yeah, 10 wins.
I guess we'll accept the bid of Austin Schaefer. You'll get the truck for $1,010.
I make a motion that we accept Austin Schaefer bid of $10,010. Oh, did you already motion it? Or you? Oh, so I'll second it.
Any public comment on this? Being none, all in favor? Could you make sure that they don't leave them plates on it
Yes.
and that it's cleaned out? And
Yes.
we have-
I turned the plates in. You
If,
did, you did. Oh, we sold the car.
If there's any radio stuff in that, because I've never looked at it, so I want to make sure, remember Scott was saying that there was stuff, there's something we need.
I'll make Charles interested.
I can go out at lunchtime and look too to
Okay.
see what that remind me, would you do?
Yeah.
All right, so.
Did anybody have any proposals for some of that money from like the nonprofit organizations? Did anybody come and talk to you
Or
there?
what?
No.
Any nonprofit organizations that came and talked to you there?
None have come in, no.
I was just wondering, because I mean, that's kind of my thought on this, why couldn't we give them, you know, like the child care, you got a couple of job places.
A couple of them
who have-
places, not very big brand.
Yeah, and I knew the childcare did, but you know, for like,
I'm happy.
for their building, because they're gonna expand, but what about like
This is,
supplies and furniture and?
this to me was just kind of a.
Yeah, for us, yeah. Okay,
And that's why I would. Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I didn't know if anybody.
I love it.
No, nobody has come
No
forward.
one has come forward. Okay, president.
So I don't think they. needed
They
to
probably
ask.
don't know.
Yeah, I don't think it,
Ask.
yeah.
And then who do I talk to about like if I wanted to take the card in next week?
Sarah
Just the clerk.
in-
clerk.
Sarah has a sign out in there.
Okay,
What day do you need it?
I think I'll go Monday. I got all my stuff, so.
Sounds good, use it.
Have fun.
All right, well, we're gonna go ahead,
Hi, Dan.
Morning.
we got a few minutes. Yeah, some of that. Not pretty bad, but
Yes, absolutely. Why would anybody want to carry that on?
It's not better than the stuff that was not. Was not a wish list. Definitely, yeah, it's been here for. But
I don't remember everything that they turned down.
From,
I
oh,
don't remember.
yeah, I don't remember.
are you aching? Are you starting to ache a little bit? Or?
You know, it's, well, nothing.
We still got a few minutes before our next one.
Good cheesesteak.
That was really good.
Did you hear anything back really on that email?
No, I did not. Hmm.
Go ahead and come on up, Renee. Might as well get going on this.
The one
How's it
thing
going?
that, looking at this,
Okay, I'm.
Yes. when we made this agreement in 1998,
I have not.
was that when,
That's the one
I
typed us.
thought it was prior to that, that the
And there's
it gave the town of Beaver gave the dump to the county because they didn't want to keep the dump site. And so it was made a district.
I don't have.
See, and I know that for a fact, and then they were worried that there were going to be all kinds of things that they were gonna have to do, and so they decided that Granite County could have it and make a district of it instead of keeping the dump that the town of Phillipsburg had at that time. And then it came to find out that all these things would have been exempt. And this was after they had given the dump to the county, and the county then it turned into a district. And then because it always been a district down the valley,
So I don't know that
There
there's
was-
been deeds though that transferred.
huh?
There's not deeds that we've seen. that
No, it was
transfer, yeah.
just,
Just the,
there
just the lease,
been something, right?
just the lease is all I've seen. Yeah,
Regarding between the county and the town?
yeah, between the
Okay.
county and the town.
But I thought that was before 1998 that it was turned into a district. Instead of, because I know for a fact that it might have been the early 90s. And I remember this distinctly because after the town gave it to the county, and the county turned it into a district. Somewhere there's some history where they no longer wanted to maintain the dump. Gave it to the county turned it into a district, and then come to find out that. Everything, they were exempt, they could have kept their little dumps.
Sure, okay, so I'm guessing that was when that big EPA mandate came down and they closed like 4,500 dumpsters, when it was open, prior to the container
Yeah.
situation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And I recall all that,
Yeah.
obviously, I don't remember the details of the exchange part. And then only one thing I was aware of was that, in terms of the property where the containers are situated, there was an agreement that was reached between the Collins family. And I'm guessing it was the town, and I thought it was a lease, but as you showed me, you forwarded
Yeah.
that was,
It was
it was a title.
a deed from
Deed.
Collins to the town of Phillipsburg with a reversionary. Right to it if it's no longer used for solid waste.
so they did deed it to the town of Phillips.
Collins is at 9.83. But I was looking at cadastral though, there's also the town has like a 23 plus acre
Yes.
one out there, so we gotta. Yeah, figure out where everything's at.
Is that where the old dump was?
Yeah, I believe further
Yeah.
this way, east a little bit, when it was just an opening.
So the,
Yeah, to the left of that, to the south of that, you can see where they contoured it
so the junk vehicle graveyard is included in that
in that
23 acres.
That's the case.
I'm thinking that potentially there were talks of conveyance from the town, but I just don't think there's, recorded deeds there that actually.
So what do we need to do then? Just,
Well, I mean, I guess, any talks can be on the table, but, if, I would say a minimum, trying to get the lease, extended would be a good thought, but,
one reason this was brought up was we were talking about putting credits out.
If I might just real clear, to get some clarity here.
we're talking about the solid waste district. That's specific to our dump here. And the only thing I heard was, yeah, we're thinking about maybe water, but it sounds to me like we want to straighten some stuff out from the past. In addition to the possibility of water, I think we have to move ahead, because we don't have much to say in that. Right, exactly, and I'm open to the conversation for sure, because I'm all about cleaning stuff up from the past.
See, like the only thing when in 1998, and I didn't do, I should have done the research. The fees to haul the garbage. Have probably tripled. In the fee for the solid waste district. And I would say your garbage. Has probably tripled. Just because of your tourism.
The town's garbage?
Yeah.
That you're referring to?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Not just all the private citizens together, you're talking about that.
I'm talking about the, look, you don't pay, the town does not pay for garbage.
Right.
Granite County does pay for garbage, and the town of Drummond does not pay for garbage. And that was in the lease agreement that because the property belonged to the town, so they're leasing it to the solid waste district, and so they get free garbage.
One clarification, that we haven't found that lease between the county and the town of Drummond. So
Okay,
if there was something, we're assuming there was something similar that was with the town of Phillipsburg, because it was the same type deal. But that was with the town of Phillipsburg, it was a 30-year lease from 1998. So I don't have a problem with that lease, other than I think
no,
if the county is gonna be putting in bathrooms and do wells, you wanna run that by you, as well as potentially get an extension on what that lease is. To me, I think it's been working pretty well so far, and then maybe I'm missing some things, but continuing on with the relationship.
I think it was just to kind of open doors and see if we could do put back, get kind of permission, because it's there ground, once we get them, everything. Yeah, well, I guess again, for clarity, so you haven't located a lease for Drummond, but you have for Peeber?
Yeah.
You do have that, of course,
Yeah.
that one, I didn't even think about anything like that, so I definitely would want to see copies of that.
I think
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can give it a copy of that.
yeah.
The solid waste records from previous years, are they upstairs or minutes from their meetings and all of that?
but solid waste. It should be,
I mean, I know there's nothing recorded.
so
But
their minutes, when the board, when it was a board,
John and then Mary and all them on there, they should be in that.
they were supposed to turn, minutes for boards were supposed to turn into the clerk and recorder's office and be filed. So as far as that being done, I don't know, but there might be records in Vicky's office. Okay. That,
I never remember seeing any that we approved or nothing. I remember when they were having, when we was trying to up the fees on the dumping and all that, I remember them meetings, they should be all on, because that Mike took the notes on them.
oh, that would be a commission thing where anything solid waste, you would get,
That will
decision made about solid waste would be in the commissioner.
right, but
proceedings.
what I'm saying is they're made, obviously, my mom was on that board. And she was fairly thorough, so I find it weird that there wasn't a lease agreement with the town.
Or where you can't, yeah, right.
But, and I'm going through our record and too, all of our old minutes, and to see if I can't find something with it, but I would assume it would be.
No, I agree that
Yeah.
there probably is
Yeah.
one out there somewhere.
So I would suggest just a new, even if we don't find a new.
There was
just a new
nothing in
lease
this
agreement.
office. There wasn't anything filed. It should have been filed with the clerk and recorder's office.
Yeah.
We couldn't find,
I don't know
I
that
couldn't
it
find
was.
anything when I went through
Yeah,
it.
it would have been. Would have been under the town of Drummond, so you'd go to the index books. Under Drummond Town of and look for a lease agreement.
I'll
It-
look
yeah.
again.
That
I
would
went
be
through it with
something that I
Sue
would
one
have Karen
day.
do.
in this one with Peter, the agreement was made on the 6th day of May of 98.
and this was recorded in 2006.
That wasn't put a record until 2006.
That's what
Uh-huh.
indicates here on the state.
Yeah.
So there's a lag in that, it may be some sort of lag in that timeline.
Yeah, good point.
So in order. Are we kind of trying to look to go ahead and do leaves? Find out we have something that we have.
We
Document.
can, yeah, we do some more research, but, yeah, I think, a new lease that, extends and allows, put the water well in and so forth.
Drummond already has one.
Yeah, no, we know that. I brought that Blackwood with that in Blackwood Jones when they did the compost. You know
But
that
the,
Say that again.
Blackwood Jones put the well in that. One in Drummond already, so I was we're looking at it as a put a like having to have bath.
bathroom,
Yeah, it's getting a toilet there.
Right, which, yeah, it should be, but.
And that's okay with you guys.
Well, that's, I guess.
We were never asked for that one to be put in, which we didn't make us stink about it. I mean, we're trying to, you know, because we own the land. And we own the well. Was there permission?
I don't know, I said we were trying to get
Yeah.
permission, so we don't want
We
to put
need-
something in, and all of a sudden you come back and say not that you would or anything, but come back to we should ask.
No, yeah, no, I get that. What I said is cleaning up the previous stuff, that there was already a well done. That the city fathers didn't okay. With it. And so, yeah, I think first we have to get agreement.
So like it was brought to our attention that just for safety that there should be water and there should be a bathroom.
It
on
is
both sides.
2023.
And so that's what we're looking at, and then looking at the agreements to see where they're at. And my thought with town of Phillipsburg is. I don't know that we're looking at the residents paying for tourist garbage
And
and. Is there anything in your budget? That maybe you can get back to the tourist, where that we can maybe charge you for some units. Just to help out with the garbage.
I would say the short answer to that with respect to the budget is no. However, it'll be June before you know it. So that would be something I would definitely put on the agenda in terms of starting the budget process. Hey, look, the situation's changed somewhat. We
Yeah.
need to mark something over here in the event that this evolves this way. And I noticed just cursory reading of this, you know, it's got the, like, if you want to get out of it, it's a 30-day notice or so forth. I haven't seen any reference to if you want to add to it, for example. But I would suggest, this is my suggestion, that you guys evolve on this a little bit and get a little, like, couple of bullet points here. Just notify me in writing and say, here's what we're thinking about, and then I can transfer it to these guys and say.
And
hey,
there's no track kept. Of how much garbage you haul out there that you take off the streets.
From the cans in town you're talking about, from the public, basically, not individual.
Cause you don't even have to wait, you're just going.
No, and I'll tell you what, frankly, it's an ongoing problem. It's growing. I totally concur with that. It's growing. It's pretty, and then often what happens is people brought forward into, well, maybe we need a district downtown and that whole thing, and it gets kind of muddied up, but it's certainly something that needs to be talked about in this upcoming budget season for sure. And maybe we look at making some defined area of some, I don't know how complicated that is necessarily, but I'm willing to look at that.
Yeah, well, then you would figure how many units that we could charge you that from the street garbage.
Right.
Does that
Yeah,
sound?
well, it makes sense that you would need an objective way to quantify
Yeah.
it somehow, and I understand that for
Yeah.
sure,
And like the same, I don't, your street garbage probably isn't anywhere.
Ridiculous. No, it's ridiculous. Our park isn't even really open
Yeah.
and with garbage cans are full every week. You know, so.
It's not extra drunk.
Yeah.
We need it all the time.
You guys have an active and ongoing, solid waste board? No.
it's a commission.
It's.
Oh, I
There used to be a board.
They used to support, okay, and when did that stop?
About 7 years ago now, 8 years ago, that was all I was doing.
Oh, okay,
So it was just sort of withering on the vine, you're like, we'll just take it back over.
Well,
Yeah.
It was a piss and mat.
Oh, okay. Those sugarcoating.
Truth be known,
Okay, yeah, it just turned into a complicated mess. Eh?
And they're going after the employees, and they just, become a big old, yeah, no, it's all.
Okay, I got it.
like when we became a district. The commission automatically said Granite County will pay for solid waste, and so we have several units that of garbage that Granite County pays.
I
County
see.
building pays for so many units,
I see.
and it's right in their budget, and then I didn't know. And it was brought to my attention that the town of Drummond didn't pay for units because. It was their property and it was in the agreement. And then I thought, well, Peabody does. But then I found out, no, Peabody doesn't.
Hmm.
But the one thing, the problem with Peabody is the garbage cans on the street.
Yeah,
that-
volumes.
Yeah, the volume and the price, it's almost astronomical is what, because we can't keep raising the fees.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think that would be a speaking point within the agreements to say that we do have our public works. Way in and out, so we know what
Yeah.
the towns are doing.
Yeah. I would think some give and take, you using their property, maybe potentially a cap on it if you're thinking of the extreme of, I'm trying to think of some. Compromise.
Well, yeah, sure, and I
mean,
totally want to cooperate. I don't
Yeah.
want to, I don't want to bend over, but I want to cooperate.
Right, no.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It would be interesting just to know what. Like you said, to weigh it and just see how much garbage is going in the dumpster that isn't getting paid for.
Mhm.
And it's 99%, well, it's the garbage is on the street, so you know it's tourism.
Okay, so I think I can initiate that just with a, basic policy, like from now on, you're gonna weigh in and weigh out,
Yeah.
and then we can start to
Just keep track.
get some data
and see.
points on it, right? And then,
Yeah.
and then as a month or two passes, we can
Yeah, you
start
start
to generate something that's objective,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
I
Okay,
think you're gonna be surprised.
This would be the time to do it, we're coming on up a winter.
mhm. Yeah. Okay,
And see, this is where, when we talked about cleaning the streets, this would be a thing that would be feasible and say, okay, clean the streets, take it to the dump, that's our gift to you for letting us use the land. Once a year.
It can be to have
Yeah, I mean,
a municipal cleanup day.
Because I was thinking, well, what's going in that dumpster that's not getting paid for? That is. You know what I mean? Am I making sense?
You're worried about like. I live in town, I just go dump in the
No,
downtown.
it's-
What do you-
They wanted to have a cleanup day and then just go in through the whole town and start cleaning up
Oh.
tires and junk
Yeah.
and this and that. And just take it to the dumpster and they don't have a charge for any units, and so they could fill up the whole dumpster with town garbage, and the county is paying for those units that are just a cleanup type thing, you know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah,
look at how many. Just looking at the units that fill those dumpsters that we have to pay for, is there gonna be enough money this year? What do we have to raise fees this year? It's
Mhm.
garbage is big business.
They're gonna go up.
Oh, there's no
Every
question.
just might not-
Yeah, yeah.
Now they're talking again, if they're taking it off.
Well, and with that, I mean, I think we have to have some kind of agreement to go, if the commission is gonna go forward. With the solid waste agreement that they have with Republic and looking over to Powell County. I think that the towns owning the land should be sitting at the table. With the
Yes,
commission,
absolutely.
talking about that, to be involved in that process, so we can take that back to
Right, because
us.
it'll still, a lot of it will still be used at that dump site, you know. This is all of it, we're just.
Yeah.
Hardly even, we haven't got nothing back.
Well, I'll start having Public Works way in, way out. Might as well, it's
Just
smart.
to see,
Why,
curiosity.
You know,
from-
I totally agree with that, and also it will help me start to make some determinations about the general issue of garbage, and particularly in the business district, quote unquote, business
Yeah,
district.
yeah.
Because that has to be addressed.
Yeah.
And if I can start that conversation with some hard facts, like, look at, we're weighing in and weighing out. Everybody says there's a lot of garbage, but now I have, I
Yeah,
have real
yeah.
objective facts of how much a lot is, sort of thing. So I think I'm interested in the conversation because ultimately I can spin it into something that should be done anyway, basically,
Right.
with respect to figuring out our town garbage situation.
And then just
Yeah.
looking at what the towns and the community pays for the tourists. And there's really nothing coming in to the towns or the county for the tourists. It's the business owners that are getting, and we're paying the price. We're doing the cleanup. And there should be, are you still maybe considering looking at doing a tourism?
Yes,
Back.
yes, yeah, and my suspicion here is that there's so much happening right now. I would like to have that conversation, and I will ensure that it gets on the agenda. I want to say before June, at least for the reignite the conversation, and basically also council has to do is go through the motions, approve the ballot issue, and then it's up to the townspeople to do it. But so it's not even a really super heavy lift for the council. to do.
So are you, I guess we're digressing.
Yeah, we are a little bit, and I know what's gonna happen here because
So,
this conversation goes out into the hinterlands and.
Yeah.
so do we take the agreement to try to go forward, not saying that, not looking at some other places, I can do some more digging. Too, but like, do we take this agreement with Phillipsburg and redo it? Is that what we can do? to go
That'd be a
forward?
start.
Yeah,
At
that's,
least we have a.
and, yeah, like to see the same with Drummond. You
Right,
may wanna, be. It's looking at how much garbage is actually being used and look at that for a few months and then we, get it back on. I mean, we could be working on it here, digging, trying to find information to get it back on in a few months.
Yeah, that sounds like.
right, and in the
Okay.
meantime, if we take a copy of this so that we can go over it and see what fits, what language fits in, what we would like to see put in.
I just know my council, when I presented them and say, hey, I'm having conversations with the county. We're gonna pull together on this thing. I know what they're gonna say. It's like, well, we need to deal with garbage anyway, right? So this is gonna kind of give them a little kickstart on it, I think, like. This,
Yeah.
I mean, what we need what, we need to.
my council has been talking about garbage because they're constantly getting, how are you gonna deal with it? It's overboard, there's the. Public Works is rebellious about it, if you will, and it's like needs to be addressed, so this is a good kickstart. to it.
Yeah. And something that you can, they probably don't know that the town does not pay for any units garbage.
Right,
So it's the townspeople that are paying for the garbage that's going into the dumpster.
Mm.
This would be something that possibly would be in the works for you to look out. Look how much garbage that the tourism brings in.
that's
that
where I'm coming from. It's just another.
You as a taxpayer are
It's just
paying.
another stronghold
Yeah,
of one of those, and it's not icing on the cake, it's a necessity. to deal
Yeah,
with.
yeah.
Yeah, it's not, yeah, okay.
And the addendum I drafted up is, I mean, just a starting point. And
Yeah.
Right.
nothing that we're-
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's a work in progress.
And I didn't send out the addendum. I just gave it to the commission. Do you want me to
Alright.
provide the addendum out or do you want me to hold it
I
or?
mean, I think, I think what we've talked about is potentially a new lease for each side and so,
Not
which-
reinventing. the
yeah,
wheel,
but it's a
Yes.
comprehensive document that'll cover everything. And
Yeah,
I
I
think it'd be simple, cause I don't, it's worked so far almost on a handshake. There's been some, obviously, I haven't been, glitch free, but it's worked pretty well on.
Well, no, yeah, it should, I think now that we know better, that there really isn't something out there, we have to do better.
Yeah.
And it has to be, it has to be reported, yeah, I
Do we
mean,
have any public comment on this?
what I would, as you guys proceed in your conversation and you start accumulating information and so forth, just keep me in the loop, keep us in the loop. So that we know, then I can kind of gauge how much pressure to put on these guys, like,
Right.
we're gonna work back from the beginning of the fiscal year this way, and by the middle of June, I can.
Copy of,
See, this is where some of the.
Yeah.
On the wish list that we talked about.
Mhm.
Oh, right.
She's where we got that.
Yeah, and that's what that was the initial confirmation I got, was about bringing water out there for bathrooms. And then, of course, I was like, I heard that, well, I don't even know, yeah, no, so I'm up to speed now, a lot more than I was in the next one.
So will you send us that addendum or wait for a
I have-
while?
that the denim was like. Assuming that we had basically everything in place, so I can send it to you, but I mean, it's a, we need, I think, a new lease agreement.
Right, and I guess my point is if you find something all of a sudden that's relative to this, and you think it would be a good idea to keep us in the loop on that, any new information.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
good.
because I know how it is.
The bathrooms that you're proposing, I mean, it was just gonna be like simple bathrooms, wasn't it? Yeah, so.
Yeah.
And what I'd like to see in it potentially is something that says, and I think on major improvements, there should be a discussion, but something that. The county could do customary improvements as well, that would be,
Right.
be at a solid waste site.
My concern for Drummond, I will say, is going to be that we're gonna have to look into this fairly well because that flooded. More than once during my time through there. So, just looking
Yeah.
at
Placement.
keeping up to standards, placement, all of that. Yeah.
Alrighty, well, if that's everything, no public comment. Thank you for coming in.
It's kind of off subject, but with the mayor here, so, looking forward to doing joint session, again, we're gonna start that, just having it two times a year. I have, it was set for March 16th, I believe.
Yes,
And I have a conflict that I can't get out of. And can we move that to the 23rd? Will that be all right?
I won't, yeah, we can, I might not be here. But that's fine.
So it looks like there's a conflict anyway with RC and D being on the 16th. Is it RC and D?
Headwater? I think that's on, is that on the,
So their next meeting was March 16th.
oh,
That's very good.
Or there's,
Kind of push it again.
April 6th as well, or is that getting
Oh,
too far out?
23. Which would be conflict.
It's fine. Are you got something?
two things on April 6th, but I don't think either of them. And I'm just flashing on April 6th, but I don't think either of them are in the evening. Right?
Right, because it's at 6, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, why don't you look and then
Yeah.
get back with
Yeah, I
us?
will.
And then we can just email Billy or call her
Yeah.
and she can talk to you guys.
And then next Tuesday, we'll have it on the agenda and
Okay.
we'll reschedule. on
Well,
Okay.
20.
okay, and then what we're gonna do is keep it, the sequencing the same here, it's gonna be here.
It's gonna be in Phillipsburg. I didn't know. that.
Yeah, it's gonna be here, it's just.
I thought it was gonna be down there.
And
Now,
it's
that
sort
put
of-
that Scott right to it.
Yeah,
Okay, so
which-
April in Phillipsburg and in the fall in Drummond.
if that, yeah, I have a tough look. This is
We've
good.
got-
You guys-
I was double.
There's
We
booked.
gonna-
talked about going to Phil's or Georgetown when it's nice.
There's gonna be 4?
Yeah,
they're gonna do it quarterly.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah, see, I was double booked, I sent. my
Gotcha.
president
So-
Up here, these
so-
guys talked and ironed out.
so you guys want to do it 4 times?
So,
I mean, to me, remember what you
Yeah.
and I chatted about, even if we do it twice a year.
I think it'd be better doing it twice a year than we keep everybody involved.
I'm gonna have a problem. Recalibrating everything, right? Like, okay, so we're not gonna do it on the 16th, that's a no, we have to decide that April 6th is gonna be the start date and
Sure.
we'll do it here.
That's like,
Which,
yeah,
means I've got to get it on the agenda in advance and all that
Sure.
kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
we're responsible for taking minutes and all that.
Right.
I don't know if it's-
yeah.
like that.
So April 6th, we'll look at that.
Yeah, I will go down and look at my book.
Okay.
And then in the fall, whatever.
What day of the week is that, excuse
April.
It is a
6th.
Thursday.
Thursday.
me? Yeah, Thursday's better. Wednesday's kind of not a good day, but any other day of the week is fine.
Okay. Well, and then just fall, September, August and July. I just feel like if we can do it twice is gonna be,
I guess there's a consideration about the lake, those folks up there, right, with respect to the county.
I guess it is, but yeah, if we look at those meetings up there who did not attend, I guess I would say.
Anybody at the lake?
It was sparse.
Yeah.
The one at Fairmouth and Rock Creek were better. attended.
Yeah, there was a fair amount of people down there, yeah.
Anyway, we'll start with April 6th.
All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you,
All right.
appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks.
Good talk. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. Are you going tomorrow?
Yeah, see you tomorrow, or one of the days on,
Yeah,
okay, yeah. You're on. Thank you.
okay.
Okay, the next one's a possibility of commission assistants not being deputies, clerk and recorder. Portion of the meeting may be closed due to privacy issues. So we probably want to close it right away and have Sarah come in.
Okay.
Okay, that,
Oh, your copy? Are that your copy, sir?
we'll go ahead and we're back on here just before lunch. We went in a closed meeting. Doing it, we're talking about redoing the job description on the Bailey's, and we're moving ahead with that. That's my opinion.
That'll be a future agenda item, look at both job description of. It's commission assistant and the deputy clerk or clerk and recorder assistant.
Any public comment on this? Is none, all in favor? Aye.
Oh,
Aye.
Alright, so, one other,
Any public? Aye.
one other. Oh, here, yeah.
Did be my phone.
Point, we had it in fun, it was ringing.
I know, it's ringing and I thought, maybe I did.
you went back in there once, maybe.
To get that
Yeah.
out. Okay, this is an appointment of Kevin Candy to the planning board. I make a motion that we accept him.
I'll second it.
Any public comment? Being none, all in favor? Aye. We're gonna bring up, I wanna adjourn, but I want us to sit here for a second. And there's something I wanna ask you.
Okay, so don't adjourn, have it open, but open, well, it's, you're closing the meeting to talk about litigation, is that what we want to do? Okay. Alright.
So you're adjourned,
Well, keep the
Oh.
meeting going, but going into closed session.
going into closed
for,
session to discuss litigation. Okay.
Yeah. All right, we're back on and I'm making a motion that we adjourn.
I second it.
Any public comment? All in favor?
So I'll sign up